everybody? Rolling in a Monday. Middays with Marks, 97.5, The Fanatic. On the radio. Dylan, can you hand me the mic? Yeah, I don't know what I did with my rubber. Thank you. On the radio, on the worldwide Fanatic app. Good morning if you're listening. Be careful out there. It's rainy. If you're watching live on YouTube, what up? Make sure you subscribe to 97.5 The Fanatic on YouTube. You can watch the shows live, get involved in the conversation. We have our chat, our YouTube chat, which we recap at the end of the show. You can watch on demand as I was doing over the weekend. I went back and I watched a segment. As we say good morning to Ray Dunn, returning not from vacation. He had the day off on Friday. Hi, Ray.
Felt like vacation.
Did it?
Yeah, it did. Honestly, when I went to go put together the show sheet last night, I was like, wow, I've been out a while. It really was only 3 days, but it felt like a lot.
A lot happened.
A lot happened.
In those 3 days, I guess.
A lot has happened.
Well, a lot has happened as I was passionately, and Sean Brace returns tomorrow, so it's Ray and I and our staff today. So as I was, before we were coming on the air, I walked down and I walked past sales, and Jim Antez, one of our sales managers, says, what about Trout? And I'm like, stop. We're not getting Mike Trout. And then he said something. I saw the same thing. Somebody put out on social media Mike Trout to the Phillies. It's like a fake post. And I had to Google it because I saw it during a bathroom break at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, hang on a second. So I Googled it. Of course it wasn't true. It's just some idiot that put something in ChatGPT and then everybody ran with it. So I was like, for a second, I'm like, holy crap. And I'm like, no, what am I talking about? He's not coming here. But it's like, what could the Phillies do today that's realistic that could have changed the lineup offensively? Because we could talk about relievers and we could talk about a fifth starter and all that. Really, yes, they do need relief help. And yes, they are going to get relief help. And I don't know if it's going to be enough. But they desperately needed somebody to change this lineup. They just did. For all the Harpers and the Schwarbers and the Trey Turners and all that stuff, the one guy they don't have is just the guy that goes up there and he hits. And he mows them down. And he's good against lefties. He's good against righties. I mean, really, you put him in there and you don't have to worry about it. He's going to play and he's going to get hits. And that's Luis Arraez. And he's bounced around a lot, but everywhere he's went, he's hit at a high average. This isn't a 280 hitter. This is a 320 hitter. He's led the league, I believe, 3 times, if not more, in hitting. And he's been good this year again for the Giants. And the cost with Hefty, it's their number 4 prospect, Ramon Marquez, who it didn't seem like they're going to be willing to trade or they didn't want to trade. But Arraez is a big he's a big get. This is a big get. You had to give up something really good. And this prospect we're talking about is a really good prospect that's come on this year. He may be nothing. He's a prospect for a reason. But he's the number 4 prospect, and he's got elite stuff. He's got strikeout stuff. He throws great changeups. He's got great velocity and movement on the fastball. This one hurts, but you needed to do it. Because what I've heard in the last week, really since I came back from vacation the last week and a half or so, is the Phillies are dead. Here's the obituary. I'm writing it right now because let's sell. Sell. That's what it was at the end of last week. That's what it was over the weekend. Everything's, including fake hot takers on social media that are a member of the media. The Phillies should sell. No, they shouldn't. It's silly. They shouldn't sell. This is a team that's still going to make the playoffs, and this is a team that has the chance. Now, what's the chance? Is it likely? I don't think it's very likely. No, I don't. But there's a chance. All right? Everybody just calm the bleep down, or now you don't have to because people are going to be excited with Arraez. But it wasn't a great month for the Phillies in July. Everybody recognizes that. They're leaking. And the lineup looked dead. This is the type of player, Luis Arraez, that can reignite the offense because he offers something that nobody else does. He just goes up there and he hits. You can put him, we'll figure out where they're going to put him in the lineup. I had Sam working to see where he had batted the last 2 years in the lineup. And Ray, he's hitting 1 or 2. You got to move one of the other guys down. Is he a leadoff hitter? Is he a 2 hitter? Do you put Schwarber back at the top of the lineup and you put Arraez 2, Harper 3, maybe Trey Turner 4? Yeah, I think you do. And you put Trey Turner in left field. We'll talk about all the positioning stuff or whatever, but for everybody that wanted to write the Phillies off and say just sell and they're dead, I hear you. I'm not telling you that I felt good about the Phillies last week either, but they just needed an impact move. They got an impact bat. This is an impact bat, and that's what they needed the most at the deadline.
Yeah, it's nice. He's been a leadoff guy for the Giants, so I imagine that's where you slide him in. For me, I think you're just riding with the three lefties at the top of the lineup. But Trey Turner, you haven't done enough to justify the fact that now he's been hitting recently, and you can look at Harper and Schwarber and say, well, what have they done for you over the last month? I'm still going with the three lefties at the top of the lineup. It's nice to get the bat that they have. This balances the lineup in a way that we've talked about for the last couple of years. And I think there's been a couple of people over the years that have called, texted, tweeted, like, hey, this Arraez guy, if you're looking for an average guy, we finally get to see him in a Phillies uniform to balance out the lineup. It doesn't fix every ill that you have, but if you have him at the top of your lineup, there's a good chance that one of those guys, whether it be Schwarber, Harper, or Turner, when they come up, are going to have the opportunity to hit with the guy on base and actually look to make a difference, because those three guys have been very high strikeout guys for top three hitters. I like it. I can't tell you I think it's overwhelmingly pushing me in the direction to think that the season's saved, the town doesn't have to burn, but I like it. I'm a fan. I could say I'm a fan of the move.
So there's pretty much nothing they could have done that would have changed your mind. Outside of maybe Scooble, I mean, that wouldn't have changed it for me. I would have been excited. That would have been awesome. It wouldn't have changed it for me. Ultimately, this lineup is what's going to be what kills the team.
Yeah, this lineup's going to be what kills, or this bullpen.
Well, to your point, yes. And they're going to try to fix that. I just like with what the Phillies are going to do with the bullpen, it's going to be predictable, I believe. They're going to get the best arms they can for not giving up a ton. And they'll give up a prospect or two for sure. But this lineup, so Arraez, and I'm going to go from, let's do starting in 2022. That's post-COVID for sure. Led the league 316. Led following year. Led the league 354. Led the league 314. 3 straight seasons where he led the league in batting average. 2024. He batted 314. 2025 with the Padres, 292. And then 2026 so far this year with the Giants, 324. He's durable. He plays. He's had over 600 at-bats in most seasons. He's on target for that this year. He doesn't he's not a great defensive player. He steals a couple of bases. He doesn't have a lot of power. He had 8 home runs last year. He has 4 home runs. That's about what he is. He's going to get up there. He's going to slap. He's a left-handed hitter. He's going to slap the ball to left field. He's going to hit the ball up the middle. He's going to get infield hits. He's now their best hitter by far. So Ray, it may not be enough of an impact for you. This doesn't make them World Series favorites, but this gives them a chance to get rolling a little bit. Because how they played in July doesn't mean a damn for how they're going to be playing a month and a half from now. In September, in the middle of September, if they're starting to play their best baseball, look out. But I don't think this team's played their best baseball. They haven't been great. Even when they went on that run and they made up for the 9-19 start, we know that significantly that was done against under 500 teams, bad teams. With this team starting pitching, you should be able to win those games against the teams that don't have great starting pitching. Your offense gives you enough because the other team isn't scoring. Your starting pitching neutralizes their offense. When you face the teams with good offenses, that's where you run into trouble. The starters aren't as good, and the bullpen gets blown up. So you're going to do the best you can with your bullpen. You need to be able to score. The team's biggest issue in the last couple seasons has been timely hitting in the playoffs. This guy gives you a dynamic that they didn't have before. He doesn't strike out a lot, and he just hits, and he hits to all fields. And that's not something they have. He's their best hitter. So we can look at it right now and say, well, that's not going to – we don't know how they're going to be playing a month and a half from now. But this actually gives them a chance. So this is a great trade by Dave Dombrowski.
To your point, since the beginning of 2023, Arraez has struck out 105 times. So far this season, Trey Turner struck out 106 times. It's a totally different dynamic to the top of your lineup. It's a really like they've talked about for years about we need contact to the top of this lineup. We need contact. And a year ago, you thought they got through to Turner with that. But these are big strikeout guys. This is who they are. For him, he brings a different dynamic that hopefully gives you someone on base for one of those big hitters, because it's been try and bash your way past teams. You bash your way with a guy on base, that's an extra run. I like that. I'll sign up for that. It's why I like the move. I don't know if there was anything, like you said, that I would come into today where I'd feel overwhelmed about what they do, because all of the sexy names to me, I've been smacked in the face and told no. So it's like, all right, I'm not leaving the bar with the 10, but I'm cool with the 6. I'm cool with the 6.
All right, you were ready to write the obituary for the Phillies today, weren't you?
No, I wasn't ready to write the obituary.
A lot of people are out there.
They're not closing the gap with the Dodgers. We're getting to the playoffs. We're hoping they get hot. It's the old cliche. I'm sorry to have to do that to you, everybody out there.
It sucks. It sucks.
I'm like, it's the start of August. Wait for October, man. But it's basically what it is.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be fun the last 2 months in the season.
We're at the point where the regular season, you have to try and appreciate the moments, but overall, the big fun of it's gone. There's expectations. That erases excitement every time.
This weekend wasn't fun baseball to watch. It just wasn't. They took 2 or 3. I'm happy. It was down in Baltimore. A lot of Phillies fans are there. This is not this is not fun to watch right now. I watched yesterday. Bryce had a knock. 610-632-0975. All right, so check it out. Davis Honda text line with the voice memos. You know how to do that. Even after the trade with Arraez, how does this make you feel about the team? This is the biggest move they could have made for a bat, and I don't even think it's really close. This dude can change the fabric of your lineup. A great move by Dave Dombrowski. They've acquired some bullpen help. We'll tell you about that coming up. And then what are the other rumors that are out there? We'll update you on everything and your phone calls. Get in. Middays with Mark, 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Unfiltered with
All right, we're back. Middays with Marks. 97.5 The Fanatic. Arraez in today. Sean returns tomorrow. I'm going to let this come down. I love this song. All right, so I believe this is, you can hit the breaking news sounder for this. This is not a trade, but this is breaking news. According to Todd Zalecki, Bryce Harper brought his outfielder's glove on the last road trip, saying he was ready to move to the outfield if needed. He's expected to move to the outfield to make room for Luis Arraez in the infield. Alec Boehm to first base, Bryson Stott to third base. How about that? Bryce Harper doing the right thing for the team, Ray. Moving to the outfield. Nobody thought he would do it, including me. And I said, you know what? You got to do the right thing. If you can improve your lineup, not some tomato can. No, you moved to right field for the right hitter. This is the right player that he does it for. I'm mildly surprised Trey Turner's not going to left field, but I guess the easiest fix is Bryce Harper in right field. So there you go, Ray. Bryce trying to save it again.
Yeah, this is the easiest fix.
Isn't it?
Yeah, Bryce goes back out to a position he hasn't played in like 4 years.
Okay, or Trey Turner goes to a position he's never played.
He's played center. Now I got Boehm at first.
Okay, true. He has played outfield.
I mean,
so you change everything on the infield.
I'm in.
And you leave Turner at shortstop.
Right. Luis Arraez is here for a 320 average. We're only keeping the worst fielding player at his position at his position. Like, if there was ever a time to be like, somebody needs to man up and change positions because we got ourselves a bat, isn't it time to tell Turner to man up and go out to the outfield? I'll use the line that I hear all the time when I complain about defense. Oh, they went to a World Series with Schwarber and left. Fine. They could go to a World Series with Turner and left. We're taking Stott, moving him all the way to third. We're taking Bohm all the way to first. We're throwing Harper to the outfield. He hasn't been out there since a presidential term has gone by.
I was about to say that if you move Turner to – because if you move Turner to left and you move Stott to shortstop, I mean, who plays third base? Boom. And then you have Bryce Harper. So only one person's really changed. Two people are changing their position, but in the infield, it's one. Now, everybody's changing every position. Stott's going to third. I'm sure he'll be fine over there. He's good. But still, you got to expect at least a little bit of a learning curve.
Yeah.
Bohm goes to first base. I mean, he's been adequate at first base. He's not as good as Bryce Harper. Arraez isn't known for his gold, for like a gold glove, is he? He's fine. He's played first base, too. He can move right. He wants to play second base.
Yes. We have a middle infield that is just forcing its way to the middle infield.
I need somebody to explain why that would be the move. Do they think that gives them their best defensive alignment?
I mean, maybe it's not the way they go.
I think Salisbury might have it too. I know Zoe.
Yeah, Salisbury had it too. Gelb just put out something suggesting all the different ways it could go. I mean, I believe Todd Zlecki when he says this is going to happen. This is what's going to happen. It's just, to me, the logic behind it is, okay, all these guys have played this position before. In 2022, sure, we did see Stott over there at third base.
All right, but hang on. Is it that different defensively? Like, is it like Trey Turner? I mean, just removing him from shortstop in itself would be great. Just because he leads the league in errors, for sure. But is it really that much of a difference between what it could be if you did that and what it is now?
I mean, I haven't watched Luis Arraez play second base. What I like about Stott is the range and the ability for him getting into the shallow outfield and turning what would be a hit into an out. You don't get that aspect at third base. It's all quick twitch. So I don't remember enough about 2022 to be saying they're like, oh, I think he's going to be a great third baseman. Now, if he starts to short arm throws over to first base because he's used to the second base throw to first, and I got Alec Bohm trying to dig it out, there's a little bit of peril there defensively.
It's a better defense if you just do that. Agreed.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's a better defense. Is it that? Because then why do it? Is it because the Turner not want to play in the outfield? Is that it? Because he may have ego. We don't even know it. He just might have silent ego.
Right.
We don't
like
know
a kid.
It. Yeah.
I mean, no one expects the worst out of that guy.
So is that what it is? He didn't want to go to left field?
Seemingly.
Because Stott would have been fine at shortstop.
Or
Bohm doesn't have to move. Harper doesn't have to move.
We still got 8 hours on this bad boy. Who's employed by the Phillies right now doesn't necessarily mean they have to be employed by the Phillies at 6:01. I don't think they're going to downgrade themselves. Like, I don't think they're going to say, oh, we want to subtract from this lineup at this point. But could they say, hey, Bohm's going to walk here?
Yeah, but who's trading for him?
Not my problem.
I know, but, like, who's going to say, like, man, we really need to add a bat at the break? Yeah. Alec Bohm. Let's go trade him as a rental. You'd have to be trading him for a rental, like a guy that you don't want either. And it would make sense with the player-for-player trades rarely happen in baseball. Well, it's prospect for player is what you do.
The only reason why it might happen this year is because you're so
I don't think
down in the number of sellers.
I don't think that if all the beats are putting out that this is expected to be what it is, that means they were told that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This is what I also expect. But I'm just saying, like, make it make sense for me. This configuration of all the configurations doesn't make sense to me. Like,
yeah, it is interesting.
Could they end up just demoting Bohm and Stott to platoon guys? Oh, we have a platoon at third base? And then leave Harper at first?
Yeah, you wonder if Harper will then go to first against certain, right? Like, because Bohm's right, Harper's left, platoon. I don't want to move them all around. They're not utility players.
Right. And then Harper could just help out the fact that you have someone consistent in the outfield that's not Brandon Marsh.
Right. No, he solves the outfield hole that was created when he moved to first base.
Correct.
And he goes back and now you're better in the outfield. All right, I'm trying to focus on the positive before you just screwed all that.
I'm just looking at this lineup.
Ray.
Oh.
All right, but the lineup's much better. The
lineup's better.
The lineup's much better. So I have the split. So let's get some reaction here. David's on the text line. Give us your voice memos. Your thoughts on Bryce Harper moving to right field. Because here's what I was told last week. Oh, yeah, sure, Bryce. You wanted to go to the outfield. Oh, sure you did. You brought that because you wanted to bring it up to the media. You're trying to show Dave Dombrowski up. No, you know what happened? Dave Dombrowski felt the same friggin' urgency that Bryce had and ownership got from Bryce Harper. Star player speaks up. Guess what? He's putting his money where his mouth is. Because now he's moving the right field. He could have very easily said, I'm a first baseman. I'm not a right fielder. So he moves to right field. He said, hey, owner, hey, GM, go get an impact player. They did. So now he moves to the outfield. I think Bryce should be applauded. All you cretins out there that ripped him over the last 4 days, oh, Bryce, he shouldn't talk up. He's showing up his teammates. All right, who's worried about his teammate now? Well, let me hear all the calls, 610-632-0975. For the poor teammate that's going to lose a job now because they got Arraez. No, you should thank Bryce Harper for actually putting some fire under Dave Dombrowski's ass. They gave up a real prospect to get a rental. Let's go to Matt. Matt's calling from Colorado. Hi, Matt.
Hey, guys. I'll preface everything I'm about to say with I'm overall happy about this move, though I'm a little bit confused and feel like it reeks of a little bit of desperation. Arraez was available, before the season here. So if you wanted to contact hitter, and we all knew we needed one, why weren't we signing him preseason? So it feels like this is a bit of a desperate move. And if Harper's going to be moving to right field, and that was something that he was, vocal about in, spring training, why all of a sudden are we doing it for Arraez when, say, a right-handed power bat was available in, say, Hoskins or Alonso? So, I want to be happy about this, but all of a sudden this seems like, we're making desperate moves to improve the lineup when this move was available in spring training.
Yeah, it was, but then you would have had to move one of these guys to – I mean, I hear you. You know what, Matt? It is desperate. They're desperate. Of course it's desperate. That's the whole reason that they made the move. Yeah, you don't sign Arraez in the offseason and put him at second base. You have a Gold Glove caliber second baseman. It's not. You're not going to move Trey Turner. Now you might consider moving Trey Turner. You weren't moving him. There just wasn't a spot for him. They had a full infield. And you know what happens? Things change when your team sucks offensively. I applaud the Phillies. It is desperate. They're desperate to turn the offense around. They should be. The team looks like it's going to lose in the first round again or lose in the second round, not make a World Series. I applaud the urgency. And you know what? I applaud Bryce Harper for coming out and calling a spade. Instead of, Bryce is showing up his teammates. He should keep his mouth shut. Don Mattingly speaks out against Bryce Harper. It was ridiculous. And you know what? They got an impact bat. I don't know if this happens if Bryce Harper doesn't come out and say the obvious. And every fan out there knows. All right, so, Ray, what do we have? We have more from Zielecki, and then Matt Gelb has something in his article, too. But what do you have also from Zielecki?
Zielecki from last week telling us that he talked to Harper about going to the outfield.
Okay, so this is Dutsy sent this to me. This is from the Matt Gelb article. They could also keep Harper and Bohm on the infield corners and send Stott to the outfield, an option the club has discussed internally. So Stott playing in the outfield. Right field? What are we doing?
It's got to be left.
You put Marsh in right, and then
Marsh in center, and then some sort of a Hill, De La Cruz, Crawford platoon where Marsh in this case is going to show up every day to the ballpark. All right, yeah, and
where am I playing today?
For the last couple of months, it's nothing new. But it's all right, Marsh. Today we got you out and right. Go deal with that. And tomorrow you'll be in left.
And he's fine for the most part handling it. But you also have to have, if you put him in center, he may not be the best center fielder you can get. But guess what? What's Crawford?
Crawford's up.
He's not giving you any impact with his bat right now. And I'm not ready to write him off and say he's a bust. He's very young still. But this is a team that's trying to contend and get to a World Series. And Crawford doesn't look like he's offering enough right now to justify having 4 or 5 days a week where he starts.
Right.
He just doesn't. Now, could that change? Yeah, it could change because you have to see how the other guys are doing. De La Cruz has been hitting the ball a little bit.
He has.
That's going to end at some point.
For sure. Just like it has the rest of his career.
Right. And Hill's been good, but again, limited at bats. Otherwise, he gets exposed. So you have a couple of options. That's why you have to figure it out. Arraez is such a good hitter that everything else you have to figure out. It's a matter of what you do.
We're playing MLB The Show right now.
I like the plan of keeping the corner infielders there and moving Stott. I don't like moving Stott. It's clear. It's not clear to me. But why wouldn't they move Trey Turner? Wouldn't that make more sense? He sucks at shortstop. He leads the league in errors. There's no reason that you have to keep him at shortstop. If Stott's obviously an upgrade, which he is, why wouldn't you move him to left field? You're asking a guy that hasn't played the outfield, and Stott, he's a friggin' infielder.
Yep.
You're putting him in left field because Turner must not want to do it.
Or is this organization not ready to call it quits on that? Because Turner cannot want to go to the outfield. But you think about it. Dombrowski's been defiant the last couple of years at the end of the season. Like, oh, no, Trey Turner's a shortstop. Because he's asked. We have asked the question. This has become one of our favorite sports talk radio topics. It's a random day in June. Guess what Turner did last night? Committed 2 errors. Should Turner go to the outfield?
Oh, and I hate it.
The show sheet's banked, but it's now become a part of the conversation. So Dombrowski gets asked about it. They've doubled down on it. They've put resources into this. I mean, Bobby Dickerson's probably lost days off of his life trying to teach this guy how to be a better shortstop. And now they're going to say, you know what? We're abandoning it.
That's like pulling a quarterback. You know you can't put him back in once you pull him.
Right. It's
a
like
veteran quarterback that's on the downslide.
It wouldn't make any sense to go back to shortstop. We know what shortstop is.
Well, guess what, Trey? I guess you ain't going back to shortstop then.
I agree.
He shouldn't be shortstop next year.
I'm not defending the organization here, but it might not be Turner's ego. It might be the egos of everyone involved.
All right. As usual, good point, Ray.
It sucks. I'm not telling you I'm happy about this.
Yeah, but hang on a second. They'd be really stupid to not want Trey Turner to be in left field. Really, really stupid. I got to give the Phillies more credit than that. To me, this feels like we don't want to lose him. If we move him to left field, we might lose him. And then what? You got an untradeable contract. Unless you're getting back a bad contract in return. Let's face it. And Trey Turner, I want to like Trey Turner, and I like Trey Turner. He's never given me any reason to be like, no, screw him. And when he struggles, I'm like, well, dude, the dude obviously doesn't want to struggle. And he hasn't been that bad. He led the league in hitting last year. Doesn't feel like it. But the impact, that was their last contract they could give out that was supposed to be the impact contract. Mm-hmm. Harper was great. Schwarber was great. And that was supposed to be the last big contract they could do. And it hasn't been it. It just hasn't. You think about it, you would easily pull that contract back now if you could. Because then you could go out and you could spend money to get somebody.
Well, that's the issue with this team. And it's nice to get Arraez, and maybe it's the reason why I'm not, necessarily lining up my O2 Avalon for the parade right now, is because I'm looking at still the right-handed bats on this team. Turner's finally over a 700 OPS. That's the parade we should be throwing today.
That's good. Arraez is only going to help everybody. All right, so let's talk about where he bats. I don't know how much we have on the Davis Honda text line. Get your voice memos and everything we're talking about here, including apologies to Bryce Harper. I would appreciate, and they get to the front of the line, including Bill Calarulo coming up here at 2 o'clock, and maybe we get him in here. Apologize to Bryce Harper. He got this trade done. All right? But the lineup, Ray, and by the way, 610-632-0975 on the text line with the voice memos or phone calls. All right? You can apologize to Bryce live on the air. But so what's the lineup now? So Ray, this year so far, and appreciate Sam getting this for us, Luis Arraez, his splits by batting order. So he's batted first 125 at bats. He's batted second 190. So first 125, second 190, and then he's 19, he's batted 3, 6 he's batted 4, etc. So by far batting number 2 in the 190 at bats, he's batting 374, the highest average. 272 leadoff, 316 when he bats third. Not going to bat third. He's going to bat first or second. I like him at 2 because he's not necessarily a high on base percentage guy. He's not up there drawing walks and seeing pitches. He's up there to hit, and that he can do. So that means that he's likely to get fastballs because Bryce Harper is coming up. And to me, you put Schwarber lead off and you move Trey Turner back. Who are your best hitters in the lineup? Let's not cloud this. Who are your best hitters in the lineup?
Kyle Schwarber.
Schwarber, Harper, and Arraez.
Yeah.
Okay, so they need to be in the top 3. And Trey Turner with guys on base may see more fastballs and may show some more power. It makes too much sense for him not to bat 4. They don't have a 4. So it's not like they're moving this great cleanup hitter out of 4 to be able to put Trey Turner in there. Maybe he can take the job.
Yeah, and I know what this is going to turn into because it's going to be the people that call, oh, you can't have Schwarber hitting up that high. If you want to bat him leadoff, that's fine. If you want to bat him second, that's fine. What I don't want is him third or fourth. I don't want to lose out on 50 to 100 plate appearances from Kyle Schwarber for one of Bryce Harper or Trey Turner. The guy that is the most complete package of a hitter on this roster is still Kyle Schwarber, even though I'm starting to get a little worried.
He hasn't. The team's been terrible in July.
Yeah, though when you have to tell Matt Gelb that you're not hurt, you just changed your pregame routine because you feel like it's better for you. I got questions. We'll get to that later on. But right now, the way I'm constructing this, it's the three lefties at the top. I go Arraez, Schwarber, Harper. Turner could bat cleanup. He's finally starting to hit for power. You know what? If you're going to have a sub 300 OBP and you're going to be hitting for power, congrats. You're a cleanup guy now.
I'm okay with Arraez batting, but we agree that it has to be those three. Harper's going to hit third. It's a matter of where Arraez is. He's first or second.
Yeah.
Did someone wake up Donnie Baseball and tell him the trade happened? I wonder if he's awake and thinking about this stuff already.
No, he's definitely still getting a nap in right now.
Do you think he's the one that's dictating where guys are playing defensively?
No.
I don't know. I don't know either.
I would say no.
I'm not a big Don Mattingly fan anymore.
I don't know.
Not that I was ever a big Don Mattingly fan. It was, cool Donnie Baseball.
You want to get your poster signed.
Can we have Rob Thompson back? I feel like Rob Thompson was better than Anderson.
Oh, wow. Look at how the tide has turned.
All right, so they did, and Pat will get you in a second. We'll check out on the Davis on the text line. They also made some other moves. So, Ray, what are the other moves that they made today? Because I know they did a separate trade with the Mets, and they acquired somebody with, we were literally going on the air right when this trade happened, so I haven't even been able to exactly see what was given up in totality. They gave up a really nice prospect in Marquez.
Yeah.
So, there was somebody else in the trade for Arraez?
Yeah, so they got Caleb Killian, which, if you remember the Hector Neris experience, where every time he pitched the ninth inning, it was more of a disaster, and if you pitched in any inning that wasn't the ninth inning, it was great. That's kind of the Caleb Killian aspect of this whole thing. Just doing a quick look at him before this, Caleb Killian, when he pitches in the ninth inning, I think it's like an 8 ERA for him. When he pitches in any inning that's not the ninth inning, it's like a sub 2 or somewhere around 2 ERA. That's how you get to the 4 ERA he's got right now because he's got 8 saves this season with the Giants. So the good thing is for him, Duran's here. He doesn't have to pitch in the ninth inning. The bad thing is if there's a night in which Duran's unavailable and this guy goes in the ninth, we're going to lose our minds.
So your setup guys are going to be Bolin and Killian, and you hope Killian's good, and Kirkring.
Yeah.
But your higher leverage guy right now looks like Bolin.
Right. It does make you sweat a little bit that he's got a little bit of that Kirkring streak to him where it's like anytime he comes in a very, very pressure-packed situation, it kind of falls apart for you. But
hey, as a guy that's included, I'll take him over the guys in that need to be designated or sent down to the minors.
With all due respect to the Seth Johnsons of the world. We got Caleb Killian now. We're good.
And then they traded for the lefty Met reliever as well.
Brooks Raleigh, or if you go to his baseball reference page, Raley. So we'll work on the Philadelphia pronunciation of his name. The good thing about that sub 2 ERA, a guy left-handed for this bullpen that is in dire need of some consistent left-handed pitching.
Other than hearing his name on the Mets the last couple of years, he's been really good.
He has.
He said he hasn't had an ERA over 2.8 since 2021.
Yep.
That's he's
old.
Yeah. What did they give up? Is that out there? I'm curious. He must be in the last year of a contract. It would make sense.
Yeah, he's a free agent. I think he's a free agent after this.
Right. So around the Mets are cleaning house as they should. All right, let's take some phone calls here. Reaction, Pat in Bridgeport. Pat, go ahead.
Hey guys, how are you?
What's up?
Love the show.
Thank you.
2 points. One on Arraez and one on Duran. Bringing Arraez in, obviously bringing in a contact hitter, a guy who puts the ball in play, is a great move. But I question, one, it's going to flip your defense now because you have to put him in somewhere where he can play every day.
Yep.
But then also with the bat, if you're talking about putting him at the top of the lineup and moving Turner down, you still got Schwarber, Harper, and Turner behind Arraez, which you guys just mentioned a few minutes ago that these three guys are prone to strike out quite a bit. So my thing is you're putting a contact hitter in there at the 1, and then your 2, 3, and 4, they could hit the ball, but they're also prone to strike out, and then you're kind of just leaving Arraez out there. And then, like I said, with the defensive shifting you would have to do, I just wonder, like, if it doesn't throw a wrench into everything that they've done so far, even though that really hasn't been good enough either.
Yeah,
And then,
Pat, it is interesting that like they're willing to more or less set their defense in the infield on fire to bring Arraez's bat in. But that's how I agree, because you weren't going to win unless you get somebody that can actually come in there and he's their best hitter. He comes in as their best hitter, which is, just think about that. If you're trying to be positive about it, you just acquired the best hitter on your team. So
it absolutely is.
Yep.
It's crazy. And also on Duran, as much as I love the signing of Duran, arguably the best closer in the game, if not one of them, I was looking yesterday, and I noticed that we've played 112 games, I believe, this season already.
All right.
And Duran has been in 37 of them. And when you look back on guys like Brad Lidge and your high-leverage closers and whatnot, they pitched in 70 to 75 games per year. He's on pace for not quite 60. And I just wonder, as much as I love the move to get him in, and it's great.
Pat, I appreciate it. He missed some time. He was on the IL. So I don't think, he also, they didn't have an opportunity for him to really pitch. Wasn't there a stretch or two, Ray, where it was like, wow, they put Duran in and it was a blowout because he hadn't had opportunities to pitch. They were just trying to get him in there. So I'm not worried. Does that mean Duran's going to save every game that happens in the playoffs? No, of course not. He'll blow games like anybody else will blow games. That's the least of my concerns.
Yeah, they were trying to put him in that type of role, and he's been campaigning for that type of role where he throws 70 games, like the relievers you think of from years gone by. He doesn't really want to play by the whole, I pitch back-to-back days. He wants the ball every time there's a save opportunity or if there's a chance for him to impact a game. That's not his fault that they've been uncompetitive in games. We are at the trade deadline, and for those of you watching the run differential, we've got to -4. We're close. Still not the positives.
Almost there, so you're telling me there's a chance.
There's a chance.
All right, Raley and Alvarado are your left-handed bullpen arms. Right-handed, Bolin, Killian, and Kirkring, as of right now, are your top three. I agree, Ray. All right, 610-632-0975. Chaz from Delco leads us off on the other side. Also, your phone calls. So far, Luis Arraez, acquired by the Phillies, but it's going to light their infield defense on fire. We'll talk more about that coming up. We'll get Davis on the text line, voice memos, etc. reaction. Middays with Marks, 97.5. Oh, and by the way, coming up next, Zalecki told us last week about Bryce Harper going to the outfield. We'll play that for you next. Don't go anywhere.
I don't know what they're going to do. I haven't talked to Dave about it, but I did bring my outfielders mitt just in case. I was like, well, they would have to get a first baseman for you to move. And he said, would you be willing to do? He's like, come on, I would move if the right guy came along. So.
And Todd Zalecki on Friday, was that or Thursday?
Tuesday.
Was Sean still there?
Sean was still here.
God.
It's been a week.
I thought it was Friday. Dude, it's been a really, it's been a very chaotic and hectic last week, just in general with sports and with everything else.
Yeah, a lot happening.
Yeah, a lot happening. Well, Todd said it, and then that was at the beginning of the Marlins series. After the first game of the Marlins series, I guess it was a while ago. So Bryce Harper is going to move to the outfield, or at least possibly. There's a lot of scenarios being dangled around out there. So the Phillies acquire Luis Arraez from the San Francisco Giants and Killian. Killian, I'll be back. What's his name? George? Feels like it should be George Killian.
Caleb
Killian. All right, I got to write that down. So he's a veteran righty. Arraez instantly becomes a first or second hitter on your team. They gave up a good prospect to get him, but for me, it's well worth it because this dude actually gives you a chance. He's not a power hitter, but he's your best hitter. He frequently hits over 3, whatever. His best spot in the lineup this year, he's been batting 374 from the 2-hole. We'll see what they do. But, this is a great move. Now, the problem is, and now Ray has gotten in my head with the defense, and I went from being happy and positive, John, to Ray's brought me down. Because Ray will say he likes it, but he really doesn't. Because he still is, the Phillies aren't good. It feels like the Phillies aren't going to win. I'm not going to talk myself into it.
Oh, I'm going to get myself into this. It's the Phillies.
Couple wins?
Yeah, they'll do it to me. What will really happen is when they go on the road for this wild card series and they beat a team that probably didn't deserve to be there, and I'll start losing my mind over it, and then the NLDS will happen, and I'll get all pissed off again.
All right. So defensively, Harper could move to right field. Stott apparently could move to the outfield. Doesn't seem like the one person that we know is not going to be affected by all this is their worst defensive player by far in Trey Turner.
Makes sense.
Thank God he doesn't have to go anywhere. I'll be curious to hear why they're not moving him. I mean, is Don Mattingly? Is this all Trey Turner? Is this from the Phillies? Is Donnie Baseball awake now? Is he aware that the Phillies made the trade? So trade deadline not until later, 6 o'clock today, right? Trade deadline
6 o'clock.
Yeah, so a lot could still happen during the show, but this news broke at like 9:40 or so. All right, so we have some good voice memos. We have some good phone calls. Let's go to Chaz. Chaz and Delco. Morning, Chaz. How are you, buddy?
What's up, guys?
Yo.
How you doing?
How are you? I'm great, man.
I'm fine. All right. I think that you guys are doing a great job with this. I don't know too much about these guys that you're talking about.
No.
I do see a problem with the energy level. If you guys are saying that the locker room's complacent, sometimes that you get a little burst from shaking things up, and I don't know if that will get them to the playoffs. But long term, and even maybe a month down the road, this problem is going to resurface. And I don't know where it starts.
So, Chaz, to your point, is this just a piece of duct tape that you're putting? Don Mattingly fixed the problems of the Phillies when they started 9-19. Now the Don Mattingly effect has essentially worn off, and you're seeing the holes in this team, which is the same things that we've seen at the end of the last couple seasons. Their offense isn't good enough. They don't have enough offense. They don't have impact bats. If Schwarber and Harper aren't hitting, this team's not very good. Bohm, Stott, right? Like, they're just kind of there, and they'll have moments and things like that. But you can't count on them. Trey Turner hasn't been great. So you need another impact bat. And they got a guy that actually, if you look at Luis Arraez's career, he doesn't stick around often with a team. Like, what was the contract this year, right? $5.5 million, 1-year contract, maybe $6.5 million. But, I mean, regardless, that like the dude can hit. Now, does he not have a great reputation as far as a clubhouse guy or whatever? I've never heard that, but you would think that if he's going from Minnesota to Miami to San Diego to San Francisco, and this is a dude that frequently bats over 300, and he's not making a lot of money, you would think that he would be coveted by teams. I don't think it matters. It's August 3rd. this dude could come in and actually be what they need, which is some excitement, some confidence, some swagger. He could be dancing around the clubhouse after hitting. This dude can hit. And these guys need confidence right now. This is an unconfident lineup, right?
I think the biggest issue with him, why he bounces around so much, is he does not have a skill set that is coveted in today's baseball. He was someone that a year ago was playing first base, and you questioned whether or not he was going to go back to second base because it was, is he at this point a defender at second base that you could believe in, which is part of the reason why I think a lot of the fan base, I don't want to say a lot, but there'll be a lot of people out there today that'll like, well, why are you moving Stott off of second base? You know, I enjoy him as a second baseman. There's a legitimate question to that for Arraez because he was a first baseman, part because that's where he fit, but also because there were questions about whether or not he could get back to that level at second base. He has been better this year at second base, so I'm not saying he can't do it.
He's also 5'10", so it's not like he's the prototypical first baseman. If he's listed at 5'10", you know what that means. He's more like my height. Like, so I'm listed at 5'10". I ain't 5'10". So you got a 5'8" guy playing first base? Nah, I'm good on that.
Well, then you have two light-hitting corner infielders in Bohm and Arraez. Now, Arraez is a lot more light-hitting than Bohm, and that's why he hasn't been coveted in baseball, because people think at some point you're not going to hit for you're not going to hit 300. You don't hit for power. You're not really a speed guy, and we don't know whether you can field your position.
This isn't a long-term fix. He's a free agent after the season, and if he's back, they have to trade people. They're not going to do this next year.
Right.
They're so desperate to try to turn this lineup around and save the season. They're done if they don't turn this lineup around. I don't want to hear about the starting pitching and everything else.
This is a sign of the market. You came in here. We've done this not just this year, not just last year, not just the year before. I was going through charting the deadlines by Dombrowski last night, and I was reminded about Rodolfo Castro. Like, we've been talking about a right-handed bat in this lineup for a long time.
I was looking back on you sent in the email last night. You sent or this morning, whenever you sent it. You sent the trade deadline transactions by Dombrowski, and I remember when they traded Bailey Falter for Castro. Castro didn't do squat.
Right.
He barely played here, and they sent him down to the minors, and he never came back.
Yeah. He didn't fit here, but that's not the point of this conversation.
I didn't realize that was Dombrowski. It feels like many moons ago.
Oh, we've been through this quite a long time. I can't believe he was the guy that traded Spencer Howard. Feels like that was years ago.
I was looking up Spencer Howard. You know what he's doing these days? Japan.
Ooh, would have loved to see him in the Atlantic League. I would have loved to go up to Lancaster and caught a Spencer Howard start.
He's in Japan. Last 2 years.
When it comes to this type of move, this is what the market is. There are no right-handed impact bats.
They got they did the bet. Honestly, it's the best move offensively they could have made. Not even close. Of the guys that are thought to be available out there. So does this mean you're done with an offensive bat, or are they going to get one more?
I think you could still sneak one in, but I don't think it happens during our show if they're going to get a right-handed bat. I think this is
happens at 5:55.
Yeah. This is a bill like, no, we don't have to go off the air. We don't have to go off the air. I want to react.
So De La Cruz gets bounced for a right-handed bat?
You would think.
Because White, Hill, what's it, Derek?
Derek Hill.
Derek Hill. I call him Derek White. Derek Hill can really play center field. And the dude, he's a glue guy. They don't want to overexpose him, but he's been productive in the at-bats. De La Cruz is if you require a right-handed bat or whatever you're going to try to get. I could get another left-handed bat as long as they can hit.
Yeah.
Hill's pretty good against lefties.
Yeah, Hill's been fun. The catch out there, the home runs.
Yeah.
No, you can't move off of. Yeah, you can't move off of Hill.
Right.
I can't believe this. Derek Hill is untouchable. All right.
I wouldn't trade him for anything other than Mike Trout. If you could include him in a Mike Trout trade.
I don't know. Mike Trout's making a lot of money. That's a pretty expensive contract.
All right. Coming up, the Bryce Harper aspect of this. He's willing to move off of first base. I don't know what time Colorillo's getting here, but he said he's going to come in and apologize because Bryce Harper. Oh, man, people were really mad at him last week for essentially doing and saying what we all thought as fans, we need help. There was desperation when Bryce Harper said that. And does his opinion of Dave Dombrowski factor into it? Man, I don't know. All I know is anybody that has eyes that watch this team agreed with Bryce Harper. Well, guess what? They got the impact they're looking for. We'll discuss coming up next. 610-632-0975. Don't go anywhere. Middays with Marks.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
It's deadline day. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update brought to you by Morgenstern Medical. Losing your hair and wish you could do something about it? Call the trusted team at Morgenstern Medical because where you go matters. Call 610-831-HAIR. Luis Arraez and Caleb Killian have been traded from the San Francisco Giants to the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies giving up right-hander Ramon Marquez and right-hander Marty Guerre. Two prospects go in the way of San Francisco for Arraez and Killian. Arraez hitting .324 this season, has been a great average guy over the last couple of years. Figures to be the second baseman for the Phillies, and then a lot of infield reconfiguration. We'll break it down for you throughout the show today. Not the only trade that the Phillies have made so far. They're acquiring left-hander Brooks Raley from the Mets. The left-hander coming out of the bullpen, a sub-2 ERA for him. Right-hander Luke Gabrish and outfielder John Spikerman going back to the Mets in that deal. We'll keep you updated with everything going on across Major League Baseball today. The big news over the weekend in Major League Baseball, the Dodgers dealing for Tarek Skubal. On Saturday night, sending back 3 prospects. Dodgers currently 69-43 on the season. Eagles training camp continues today. We heard from Nick Sirianni earlier today. We're just 12 days away from the first preseason game. This update's also brought to you by Audible. Audible makes traffic less of an annoyance and more of an opportunity for another chapter of Audible, stories that speak to you. New members can start listening with a 30-day free trial at audible.com. I'm Ray Dunn in your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5, The Fanatic.
I'm just tweeting this out right now. You know what I should do? I should have the YouTube link. You send me the YouTube link, Ray or Dutsy back there. Feels like Phillies are jumping through a lot of hoops to not move Trey Turner off of shortstop. Who wants to disagree with that? I mean, literally, they're talking about we'll put Stott in the outfield. We'll put this guy in the out. Bryce Harper's going to move back to right field. Bohm's going to go to first base. And Trey Turner stays at shortstop. He's the lead. Of all the guys that you shouldn't think about defensively not moving, he's the first guy you should think of. In other words, when you trade for Arraez, you say, great, now we can move Trey Turner to left field. It doesn't make sense from a team standpoint. It just doesn't. You could have the dumbest organization ever. I can't imagine that you wouldn't say to Trey, hey, we'll see what happens next year, but we feel like this is what's best for the team. If Bryce Harper's moving to right field, Trey Turner better be willing to freaking move to left. So I don't know what the case is. It just makes no sense. I mean, I love the bat. I love the acquisition. They're moving 5 guys because Trey Turner won't move off a shortstop.
Yes. We're going to have a worst first baseman, probably a similar third baseman, probably a worse second baseman.
Correct.
And a guy in right field who has not played right field in a presidential term.
Yeah. Good way of putting it.
Kind of feels like the obvious solution is not doing all of that for the guy who isn't capable of doing his job defensively.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And so help me if they bend over backwards to make sure he gets his at-bats at the top of this lineup. I might go down to the ballpark this week just out of protest. Forget going down there to support the team.
I'm going to go boo him.
That's right. I'm going to be out there. I don't know. I'll be picketing.
I'm going to boo that bum. Can we boo him after giving him a standing ovation? Would that be right?
A standing boovation.
Ooh, how about that?
Cutting edge
Yeah,
of
Philly
sports
captain,
fandom.
Philly captain, you come up with that idea. All right, I kid. All right, I put it out there. They're jumping through a lot of hoops, man. Move Trey Turner to left field, problem solved. Move Stott over, Arraez is right there. You don't have to worry about anything else. And it's not like that you have to be a great defensive player to play left field. Trey Turner, if you can play shortstop, you can easily play left field. This is ridiculous. But I'm happy with the rise. Really, really happy with the rise.
The final out of the 2008 World Series had Eric Bruntlin left field. If we could do that, we could try Turner in left field.
Pat Burrell played left field.
Yeah.
That was
Kyle
all right.
Schwarber in 2022.
He played. Yes, he's played left field semi-recently, too. I don't need to put him back there.
No.
Let's go to Lance. Lance in Arizona. Lance, what do you got?
Hey, so Ray knows this because I used to call up when it was nighttime, and I would say, move Bryce Harper back to right field. Go get yourself a first baseman that can give you power in the middle of that lineup and protection. I said that when Pete Alonso was there. I said it when Christian Walker was there. And you waited. You waited until now to do it for a guy who you're going to put at second base, which worsens your first base because Alex Baum stinks. And then you're going to move Stott out of position where he's best at second or short to third base that he hasn't played in a while to do all this. So, think about this. If you would have just moved Bryce Harper 2 years ago to outfield again, signed either Christian Walker or Pete Alonso, you could have saved money on not spending it on Garcia.
He doesn't want to hang. I'll just stop you real fast. He doesn't want to be a full-time outfielder. He was willing to do it. He's a first baseman. So
He was willing to do it for Pete Alonso, though. He said that.
Long-term?
It was reported.
Long-term, no.
He was willing to do it.
I remember exactly what he said. He never came out and said, if you sign Pete Alonso, let's go. I'm ready to play right field. He's been asked about it since then, and he gives the answer of he even has said short term, or like this makes a lot of sense because it's and regardless of this, they didn't do that, Lance. So what did you want him to do today? Because you can, if you want to call and bitch about Nebraska, I'll let you go.
What I wanted them to do today was not go out and think about this. You also just traded away. That nothing matters because the prospects don't pan out. But you traded away your fourth best prospect to arguably worsen yourself at first. Arguably,
what did you want him to do? Hang on, I hear you. What did you want him to do?
I wanted them not to be buyers this time because I don't think they can beat the Dodgers with whatever they're going to do.
So you're in the selling crowd. You're on the very vocal selling crowd.
Though. But I've been there, though, for a week and a half, actually longer than that, because I don't think they're going to do it. As soon as I knew they were going to go after Scuba, I called you guys up about a week ago and said they're going to go after him because it makes sense for them to give up whatever they wanted to give up because they're going for a third World Series and they have the money to do it.
Yeah, and they went for Scooble. I appreciate it, Lance. I like if you're saying I wanted them to sell, then you wanted them to sell. It's so unrealistic. I can't even discuss it. That's the way you feel if you want to sell. But so let me ask this question, Ray. What exactly are you selling? Is this a fire sale? You're trading everybody? Because if you're going to sell, that means you're trying not to win. So then what? You're waiting until 2020. Like, are you keeping these guys and then you're trying again? Are you doing a fire sale where you're trading everybody? I guess that's what I should ask Lance. For all the sellers out there, what exactly are you selling everybody? Zach Wheeler, Christopher Sanchez? Are you keeping Sanchez? It just isn't. It's so unrealistic. It's not even worth talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, at that point, are you trading Wheeler because it's a year and a half? You think you get a massive haul for him? Like, I don't know where you start that conversation. Can you trade?
So you're ripping it down?
Yeah.
But they're not going to do. That's what I'm saying. They're not tearing it down.
Which is kind of the non-starter here. Like,
I know. That's why I said it. You can't even discuss it.
Yeah.
It's
Are
so
you
unrealistic.
only going to hold the contracts that are long-term that you can't get rid of?
You weren't going to sell. So if people felt like the Phillies were going to sell, like that's a separate conversation.
Right.
We're on the deadline day. So, I mean, Arraez significantly improves your lineup, and it makes your defensive alignment weird because they're trying to figure out a way not to move off of Trey Turner at shortstop. You know, I mean, it's not like that you have this, like, oh, Trey Turner at shortstop, but you can't move him. You're going to figure everything else out. You have Trey Turner at shortstop. Then it would make sense.
Yeah.
You have the exact opposite of that.
Correct.
At shortstop.
You've got a guy that we could talk about every year about moving from shortstop at shortstop. This is the thing. In a vacuum, sure, Arraez is here. That's cool. I like that. It balances out the lineup. It's just like putting this into practice. I'm either going to end up with 3 lefties at the top of the lineup because I hate every right-handed bat that exists right now, or I'm going to be complaining about the fact that their defensive lineman is the way it is because I also don't like what they're doing when they get Arraez here. Arraez coming to Philadelphia by itself, thumbs up. Like it. Everything else about it kind of makes me want to throw up.
It's clunky. Let's go to the Davis Honda text line, the voice memos, and we'll get back to the phone calls as well, 610-632-0975. Would love to hear more Bryce Hart. So if you're a seller, how about this, Ray? Since I didn't ask Lance. If you're a seller, a Philly seller, I want to hear your complete plan. Like, you're trading everybody? You're trading future Hall of Famers? What's your exact plan? Because it's easy to say, oh, you want them to sell. Maybe you wanted them to stand pat, not give up prospects. I don't know.
I can hear that. That's one I can hear today. If you really feel that way, if you've thrown your hands up the white flag, like, I don't necessarily agree with you, but I can see you get to that thought process.
Yeah.
The sell is tough.
Yeah, all right. Here's the Davis Honda text line. Go.
Luis Arraez, great. We gave up a good prospect who has potential to be a dog in the rotation for a guy that we could have signed in the offseason and figured something out. But you know what? We had a good club. Leonardo Kemp is a championship quality player.
Oh, shut up.
Dave Dombrowski is making moves, giving up prospects, hindering our future for his short-sightedness in the offseason. Any other profession, this guy would be fired. If I showed up to work, didn't do my job, and then decided in a few weeks that I need to blow the budget, screw it up, I'd be fired. This is wrong. This is bad. Bad.
I would disagree that he should be fired. Now, like, am I ready to turn the page on Dave Dombrowski? Yeah, it could be. I'd probably rather do that now than give him another year or two. But another year or two, he is what he is, man. He's built championship teams. He knows how to build a team.
We have a good club.
Makes a lot of mistakes. I push back on the idea that you would have signed Arraez in the offseason. Where's he playing? Right? Where's Arraez playing if you sign him a one-year contract? Are you trading Bohm?
Yeah, was that the big move? Instead of Bichette, you're going to get Arraez. You're moving for a 1-year deal. You're moving Stott over to third base and trading Bohm.
By the way, yeah. I didn't want Bohm this year. I would easily move on from Bohm this year. You were all telling me how he was going to have this great contract season. Oh, Bohm's
I never told you that. I told you he is what he is, but I also told you there was a certain floor that existed with him. Arraez, I couldn't tell you if he was going to be able to play second base this year. They've been playing him at first. You said it. He had been a 5'8" first baseman last year.
I don't want to because the question is where would he play, and I can't. They didn't sign Arraez in the offseason. They were saying we're going to go with Bohm. I didn't have a problem with that. I had a problem with Bohm coming back, but ultimately, rather than switch things around, I was like, all right, fine, whatever. That's what you're going to do. Man, I mean, the bottom line is they got Arraez now, and that's because what they thought was going to happen didn't. By the way, you have a 35-year-old catcher that has 2 additional years left on his contract after the season that looks offensively like he did a lot last year. Why a lot of people didn't want to resign him. And if you're signing him for his defense and his handling of the pitching staff, then that's great. And I like JT a lot. I'd rather have him than not have him. But, man, that's a lot of money tied up into an old catcher. And it doesn't change the issues of the batting order. This helps. It doesn't fix it because he's not here long term. But it helps this season. This probably, I don't want to call this a Hail Mary, but this is a desperate move. They got the best hitter on the market, and they gave up real value for an expiring contract. For a guy that doesn't have a lot of pop, he can hit, but he's not hitting home runs and things like that.
Yeah, it's wildly desperate. You're desperate when you move your infield around like this.
That's desperate.
The level of desperation here is higher than years before because they realize where they're at in the window. And Nightingale was on with us last week. It's like, yeah, they think they should have had a World Series at this point. If we want to throw that parade, we could throw that parade too of we probably should have won a World Series at this point. Thanks, Dave. I know that. I also think you should have won a World Series at this point. I went through this, and honestly, that was Tim from Northern Liberties on the voice memo there, talking about firing Dombrowski. You were never going to do it after 2023. But I'm just saying, going back and looking at that 2023 deadline, that was a fireable offense. Everything since then, I could justify some of the moves they made. Hayes, he got hurt, whatever. He was never the same. Bader ended up getting hurt, and it was tremendous for the 2 months that they had him. This is even more desperate than both of those moves.
Yeah, the lack of urgency, I hated it at the time, and it looks really bad now. Yeah. We have a good club, and we're not going to, I'm very content.
We have a good club.
Like
Fine line.
Wasn't it clear to everybody they needed something else? They needed some type of dynamic change, both maybe in the clubhouse and on the field, something. Because this offense is as boring and bad as it was last year. It's the same offense. Not a not good enough offense. It just is.
Yeah.
We can do the Joel Embiid, well, if he stays healthy and this happens and that happens. Their bullpen's already a potential problem. You're starting pitchers don't go 8 innings in the playoffs. They don't go 7 innings in the playoffs a lot. So now you're going to have to go 6, 7, and 8 in a lot of these before you get to Duran. Good luck. So you need to score runs. And, man, they've struggled doing that. Since the middle of that Diamondback series, they have not hit at all in the playoffs.
This has been who they are. It is in the Sixers realm of things. We know this movie. All right? You can watch Titanic as many times as you want. You know what happens? That ship goes down. I'm sorry to spoil it for you. It's 3 hours of your life you may never get back. I hope that it's not the same movie. But you do feel like you see the same characters, and it's like, what are they getting themselves into? Or a TV show where it's like, if it's Friends, who's Joey dating in this episode? Phoebe's doing this weird thing. Ross and Rachel got this dynamic. Like, we know what the writing is.
Yep.
This is not season 1 of the show. We're not trying to figure out who the characters are.
Yeah, it's a Hallmark movie at this point.
Yeah.
Bob Nightingale reporting the Phillies are interested in Robbie Ray. Typically, a trade happens. Does it seem like it's one of these things where he puts it out there and then the trade happens 15 minutes later?
Yeah, him and Heyman have been doing these little, let me cast the line out there, and they're reeling things in right now pretty good.
Robbie Ray, right, he's a free agent after the season. Is that correct? He's got to be. Because he's been really good this year.
He would be a free agent after, through 26. So,
all right, so he's got a 3.08 ERA in 22 games this year, which would instantly make him obviously their 4th best starter, but it puts him up there with what Luzardo's done. Luzardo has a better arm.
Top step Nola.
Yeah, Nola definitely becomes your number 5. Yeah, I would love that.
The question is this one of those 2 trades things that he loves to pull off that he's done a couple of times with the Angels back in 22, last year with the Twins?
He gets another reliever because he's given up a premium prospect.
But, yeah, he already gave them a premium prospect where it's like, all right, you've already gotten Marquez from me today. We're working on a separate deal. Like, who they gave up last year for Bader was, they gave up like a 16-year-old last year for Bader.
Everybody needs starting pitching, right?
Yeah.
Anybody in the playoffs needs a starter. Some teams may feel like they need a 3rd starter, not like the Phillies. The Phillies are really looking at they need somebody to stabilize the rest of the rotation. Robbie Ray's not going to be cheap. If the Phillies acquire him, it's going to cost a lot more than you were expecting to give up for this year's Walker Buehler. That's for sure.
And if they do trade for Robbie Ray, so help me if we get to the 4th game of the series and we haven't seen either him or Luzardo.
Yeah, you probably will. And Scooble goes to the Dodgers. Let's do that next segment. I know everybody was blaming the Dodgers for it. Like, believe me, it's not great for fans what they think of baseball. But we'll talk about that too, because the Phillies were in apparently on that. I'm waiting for one of the bona fide reporters to report some of the names that I've seen thrown out there. It would make sense that if that was the price tag, Dodgers didn't give up a lot. We'll talk about it. We'll break it down. Don't go anywhere. All right, is this Chuckles in Broomall? Chuckles, is this you or is this Charlie?
Yeah, this is me. What's going on there, my friend?
What's up, Chuckles?
Yeah, I want your old station. You guys went and cheered for Trey Turner, and it turned the season around.
I did.
No, let's bully Trey Turner into right field. Let's not even joke about it. Let's get fans there this week with signs. I'll be there Friday night for Utley's night, and let's bully Trey Turner into right field because he's making more than enough money that we don't need to mess up 5 positions on our baseball team. Let's get him to right field. He's already played outfield before, or left. I'm sorry, left field.
Yeah, if he was able to play center field, he should be able to easily play left field.
Exactly, and he will be less of a defensive liability out there than he is at shortstop. My whole life, we've had great defensive shortstops from Stocker to Rollins. He's awful, and we can move Stott, who used to play shortstop here.
Yep. Steve Jeltz before him. I'm just kidding around. So you and Ray, do you want to be a part of this movement? Bully Turner. You're not supposed to bully, but you want to bully. It's a good idea. Like, hey, Trey, if you're the one that's saying you don't want to move to the outfield, we're going to boo you like hell. Move to left field, we'll support you.
I'm telling you, I think it's higher than him. I think it's this organization. They don't want to be the ones with egg on their face with the whole no, he's going to figure it out.
All right. Well, then maybe they'd feel bad for him, and they would put him in left field. So here's all I know. It still doesn't feel like enough, but you wait until a couple games with Arraez batting if he's hot, and fans are going to be like, all right, we can do this. This fan base needs confidence right now. Chuckles, not just the team. The fan base needs to feel good.
Let's take it into our own hands and bully him in the left field. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, listen.
I think people can get on board with that.
Call us later this week. Let us know if you're going on Friday. You can. I'm not going to advocate bullying him in the left field. Yeah, I'll just rip him on the air. I can bully him. Yeah. I need Zielecki and Gelb on this. Why isn't Turner being? I need Salisbury on this. Why isn't he? Why wouldn't it be Turner to go to the outfield?
It doesn't make any sense.
Text Jim and see if he'll jump on. Just text him and see, like, hey, can you come on just real quick? You do it at like 11:30 or whenever. Why wouldn't Turner move to left field? It doesn't make any sense. And honestly, it takes away from the trade because Arraez is a great acquisition, and he's going to be great in this order if he's first or second, wherever he's batting. But the fact that Trey Turner's remaining at shortstop, and now Stott has to move, and then Harper might go to the outfield, and then Bull might go to first base. Man, you are jumping through hoops to try to keep Trey Turner at shortstop, which is the last guy you should be jumping through hoops for. Stott's great at second base. He'd be above average, if not, like a little bit above average at shortstop. He's got enough range. Bohm stays at third. Harper stays at first. And then you put Turner in the outfield. That's it. Or no, Stott. Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense. All right. Well, Ray, you also said on the text line that people were, because Calarillo said he's not apologizing to Bryce. I said it earlier. There's people. I know this town, and when Bryce Harper comes out after a game and he says, "No, we need help," I knew a lot of people were going to say, "Well, dude, what about you? You haven't done anything in July. What about you? Like, you're throwing teammates under the bus." Like, to a certain extent, I understand that, but ultimately, Bryce Harper's the one that sets the tone for this team, and if he ain't hitting and Schwarber's not hitting, they struggle. And he put it out there. He put it out there for Dave Dombrowski. He put it out there for ownership too. Because if you're John Middleton and you've already invested a lot of money, aren't you talking to Dave Dombrowski and saying, like, Dave, come on, let's go? Because we have a good club is what we heard from Dave Dombrowski. And he said he was content.
I think we have a good club.
So he adds this year's Austin Hayes or Bader. What does that do? They added the best bat on the market. And whether Dombrowski was going to do that or not, Bryce has urgency, and that's something I want to see from this team. Not all right, let me give you the boring answer, which was we're struggling right now, but we have the guys in the clubhouse that can get this done, and they're my guys. Even though you're lying through your freaking teeth, everybody knew and knows that this team needs upgrades. Everybody was mad. Are people still mad on the Davis Honda text line?
Oh, we have people mad. We also got Jim in Virginia that wanted to agree with you on that. And Johnny Marks, I agree with you. I think the price speaking up is a great move. It's about time that someone in this locker room told us the truth about where this team is right now. We know they need a lot of help.
And this may not be enough. And I also like what it does. Let's stop focusing so much on the negative, which is the defensive alignment, and let's talk about what it does to the order. It's weird. Trey Turner's like the weirdest player that I can remember being a Philly. I don't want to say like Eli Manning because it's not apples and oranges. It's not even apples to apples. But Eli Manning has a sub 500 record and is a double Super Bowl MVP. It just doesn't make sense. Trey Turner led the league in batting average last year and was top 5 MVP, but I didn't feel like he had a good year. And I know he can't play shortstop anymore. I don't want to see that. He just I don't know what to make of him. Because then I look at him hitting cleanup and I think, you know what? He could get hot. Him batting behind Bryce Harper and having some guys on base and maybe seeing a couple more fastballs, because he's got that long swing, that long looping swing, and it just feels like how you get him out is you don't throw him strikes. And when he's bad, he's up there swinging at almost everything. And Arraez is going to change that because he's not going to be walking a whole hell of a lot, although he's walked more than he's struck out. Only 21 strikeouts this year for Arraez, and that's how he helps the lineup. All these other guys strike out all the time, right? Like Arraez doesn't, so he's not going to be walking a ton. He's not up there to walk. He's up there to hit the ball and to put the ball in play, and he'll spray it all over the place. This may help Turner if you hit him fourth. So, Ray, we decided earlier that it has to be Schwarber, Arraez, or Arraez, Schwarber, and then Bryce, and then Trey. Would you be surprised if it was something else?
I wouldn't be surprised if they went the Arraez Turner.
Really?
They're going to go, too many lefties in a row. We can't do that. No.
Schwarber fourth?
Turner's quick. Yeah. They appease the.
All right.
If Don Mattingly has the scorecard, I think there's a chance that Schwarber's batting fourth.
See, people are gonna get on Turner now if he doesn't move from shortstop. He's already driving people crazy. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Your phone calls, your text messages. If you want to get the voice memo in on the Davis Honda text line, it's a great way to get involved in the show. Same number as the dial-in number, 610-632-0975. We'll add the Dodgers to the conversation. They traded for Skubal Saturday night. But I don't blame the Dodgers. We'll talk about it coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Arraez to Philly. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update brought to you by Verizon Business. Verizon Business experts love small businesses, so they come directly on your schedule with real expertise tailored to your needs. Make an appointment with a Verizon Business expert. Go to verizon.com/book today. Luis Arraez and Caleb Killian are going to the Phillies from the San Francisco Giants. The Phils sending fourth overall prospect in their system, Ron Marquez and Marty Guerre, out to San Francisco in return. Arraez figuring to play second base, which means the Phillies need to reconfigure their infield going forward. We'll keep breaking it down as we hear more about their plans going forward. In addition, the Phillies made addition to their bullpen. Brooks Raley from the Mets coming to Philadelphia, the left-hander with a sub-2 ERA this season. Right-hander Luke Gabrich and outfielder John Spikerman going to the Mets in return. Dodgers made the big deal at the deadline so far, dealing for Tarek Skubal on Saturday night. They sent back 3 prospects. Dodgers currently 69-43 on the season. Eagles training camp continues on today. We are 12 days away from the first preseason game for the Birds. This update's also brought to you by the McComb Group. Visit McCombGroup.com. McComb Group Sports Contractors, one of the largest PVF inventories from pipe, valve, and fittings to trusted brands. Count the McComb Group to help you stay on schedule. Visit McCombGroup.com today. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5, The Fanatic.
Get it on the air rather than texting you. I sent you a soundboard from The Running Man, the movie The Running Man from Arnold Schwarzenegger, where the I want to call it a game show, but the show host, Richard Dawson, his name was Killian. The Phillies acquired Caleb Killian, along with Luis Arraez. So that could be a drop when we talk about Killian anytime he pitches. He goes, Killian, I'll be back. And he goes, only in a rerun. Go. Phillies make a big trade, more on the horizon. Feels like perhaps a starting pitcher like Robbie Ray could be acquired here before not too long. So get back to your phone calls, your text messages on the Davis Honda text line, voice memos, etc. But it happened late on Saturday night, and I was still awake, but I just had kind of put my phone down for the night. I hadn't seen until the morning that the Dodgers acquired Tarek Skubal from the Tigers. And it's one of the initial reaction is, oh, great for baseball. Awesome. The rich get richer. Back-to-back Cy Young Award winner goes to the back-to-back World Series champions. Now you look at that rotation, who the hell's beating the Dodgers? Everybody felt like that before they acquired Skubal. And so he gets dealt to the Dodgers. Ray, I know you're not Mr. Baseball America, but you've probably read the articles. I mean, they didn't even give up a top 5 prospect in their organization. Now, part of that is because their organization's really good, and it's one of the reasons why the Dodgers are consistent winners. But, yeah, they gave up a 5'10" outfielder. They gave up an older starting pitcher that had been injured for a year and a half, and they gave up a third-round draft pick pitcher that hasn't been good as a pro. So, I mean, for Skubal, that's what they gave up. I feel like there had to be teams out there that were willing to give up more than that.
On Saturday night. You had
on Saturday
Sunday.
night.
You
Didn't
had
even wait.
Monday. Everyone else was waiting for you. Forced everyone else to wait. Freddie Peralta doesn't need to be a Ray on Sunday. He can be a Ray at 5:50 tonight.
I put on my tinfoil hat last night. My buddy John texted me and said he's reading a lot that there's smart baseball people that think that the owners were very happy at this trade happening. Because you know why? It's going to piss people off, and it's going to make fans mad. And it's going to turn the fans against the Dodgers and the players. Because this has nothing to do with the salary cap. They traded for an expiring contract. Yeah, he's making a little bit of money, but this isn't, we just signed another player to $700 million. They actually made a trade at the trade deadline. Anybody could have done this. The Dodgers are the one team that did it. I don't know why the Rays or some of these other teams didn't give up prospects to do it. This isn't a great trade. It got, by everything I read yesterday, the Tigers got very bad grades on the trade.
Yeah, they got bad grades of the trade. The problem is the rest of the owners of baseball are like, all right, am I going to trade something of value for Skubal if I feel like the inevitability is he's going to sign this rich contract that I can't afford by the end of the season? Like,
well, I guess the answer was no, unless there was collusion to let the Dodgers have him, which I find very hard to believe.
I find it hard to believe.
I think that maybe they were happy with the end result of it, which is, this will just screw the players even more.
I'll say it. Sitting outside of Congress Hall yesterday in Cape May with my uncle sitting there. We put our tinfoil hats on. 2 of us may have had a beverage in us. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of along the lines of your buddy. Like, I'm sure that the owners of baseball are not
I'd be happy.
dissatisfied with the way this went.
I'd be happy. This is good because what was the reaction after the trade? Oh, screw the Dodgers. The Dodgers are ruining baseball. They are ruining baseball. But not for this. This is a great move by the Dodgers. They need starting pitching help. They got a back-to-back Cy Young Award winner. It's been pitching great.
Yeah, most teams when they need starting pitching help, it's like we got this guy with a 4 ERA that might be able to patch up things and figure things out by the time he gets to the playoffs. And Dodgers, we're just going to add Skubal for. One of the guys was 28. If you're trading someone older
27.
than me for Skubal, let's grow up a little bit.
Brady Smith, I think he had 4 starts and then he blew out his elbow.
Yeah. River Ryan. That's not a real guy.
Isn't that a great name?
It's not a real human.
River Ryan and there was somebody else too. Oh, the best part of it was I think they liked the trade because you have high upside on that starting pitcher, but he pitched in AAA this year and he's not good. But he was great in his first 4 starts in the majors. All right, so but let me just rehash. I hate the Dodgers and F the Dodgers. F them. Well, I don't care if they got Skubal. It doesn't mean they're winning again. So F the Dodgers. But if they would have went out and they signed like this year's Soto or they signed Skubal in the offseason, I hate the fact they defer money and they were able to sign all these players. It's not fair. And the biggest issue in baseball right now is you can have a team like the Dodgers and a bunch of teams like the Rays and the A's and those teams Like, give me a break. Like, there's no parity in baseball. If you have the Dodgers that can more or less spend as much money as they can. But here's the other thing. I can't hate the Dodgers because they're a very well-run franchise. Their farm system is always great, so they can make trades. If the Phillies had a deeper farm system, guess who they could have acquired? Whoever the hell they wanted. Meanwhile, they're trading away top prospects to get a friggin' rental for the rest of the year. It's because their top prospects aren't all that great. So I hate the Dodgers, but this isn't the problem with baseball. The problem with baseball is that you can have a $400 million payroll team that defers all the money and doesn't have to pay right up front. They need to fix that. They have to level the playing field. It's too uneven.
Yeah, now I'm doing more research than ever on the television deal that the Dodgers have because I see that of like, well, they're technically operating as if they're a bankrupt team due to an agreement with baseball when they went bankrupt, so they're getting all this money from their television revenue stream that they wouldn't otherwise get. I mean, it's not something that's really conducive to the two of us sitting around talking about baseball.
And they're making money. What do they care?
Right. They need to close the loophole in all the deferred contracts. That needs to be we need deferred contracts only if the contract doesn't work out. You got to buy the guy out. We should only celebrate Bobby Bonilla Day for players like Bobby Bonilla.
Right. He deserved deferred.
Right. That's
payments.
what we need the payments for to get out of the contract. And we need whatever they got with the TV deal. They're not bankrupt anymore. Breaking news, Dodgers are making a lot of money.
They sure are.
Major League Baseball, take care of that TV revenue deal however you can possible to even the playing field there. And when it comes down to what you're saying about them being a well-run organization, of course they are. Who are we supposed to blame for the fact that these guys who are generational talents didn't stay with their teams? The Rays had Snell and Glass now. Is it the Dodgers' fault that they become available to you?
Nope.
The Red Sox had Betts. Is it the Dodgers' fault that they took advantage of that?
And they have great prospects that these teams say, yeah, we'll do that trade.
Right.
Betts is going to leave. Let's trade for him.
Well, who's the Robleski who pitched in the All-Star game? He's making less than $1 million this year. It would be nice if someone that the Phillies are paying less than $1 million could be an All-Star. I would enjoy that.
We have a good club.
I would like that a whole lot. Sasagi's making less than $1 million this year.
We have a good club.
Go down the list here. Pajes making less than $1 million a year. Pajes was
an
an
All-Star. All-Star starter.
Yeah. Like, you start going down and say, all right, yeah, some of this does have to do with the fact they're paying guys out their rear ends, but
Fine line.
they also develop guys. And by the way, the end of last year's World Series could have went either way. The Blue Jays are selling right now. The Dodgers are still competing, but
some are calling the Phillies the World Series champions.
They were so close.
Fine line.
The umpire apologized to JT and said it was a strike. Who knows what happened, see? Yeah, believe me. I wish we were the friggin' Dodgers.
Me too.
But by the way, like if like you said you want to close the loophole, let's hope the NFL doesn't close the loophole on what the Eagles are doing because they're more or less doing the same thing. They're cooking these contracts.
No, you close the Dodgers loophole. For football, it's okay because it's a capped sport.
They got to do something. But like to the tinfoil hat points, nobody really cares all that much. They just look at the Dodgers and say they just got Scooble. Like, that's not fair. They have Ohtani and Scooble. And they just, I mean, God forbid if what's he even batting this year? Tucker. He ain't done anything.
Oh, he stinks.
They just reset the market with Tucker, for God's sakes. So it's not
it stinks.
Yeah. So it's not like that they don't. They just signed a huge contract in the offseason. The guy's not any good. And they have outfielders they can trade for days. And so, and here's the other thing. I haven't seen Todd or Gelb or Salisbury put this out, but Alex Cole, I saw tweeted out that he's hearing it was Bolin, which I guess makes sense if they wanted a bullpen arm. Bolin, Crawford, and who was the other name that was out there? One more name.
Painter?
Anyway, was it Painter?
I don't know. I
don't even think it was Painter. No, that wasn't enough. I don't think. I mean, that's really like your best offers that are on the market. I'm shocked that nobody topped the Dodgers offer. Shocked. Really wasn't that big of a trade. All right, we'll get back to your Phillies phone calls coming up, 610-632-0975. Alex in Bethlehem leads us off. We have voice memos. We have text messages. It's all the same number, 610-632-0975. Middays with Marks, 97.5.
This is 97.
Middays with Marks. Got Marks Ray Dunn. Sam's back there today. What's his name? Sam Sneed?
Sneeris.
I knew it wasn't Sneed. That was a golfer. Sam Sneeris. Dutchy's been running around back there because we had breaking news earlier in the show, right before we went on. And Ray can attest to this. What was I doing? I was peacocking. I was down there working the hallway.
You were.
I was yelling at the salespeople. Luis Arraez is the guy they need. Not getting Mike Trout. And then I was pitching them to you guys, and then the breaking news happened.
Yeah, I was kind of livid at the timing of the breaking news because we really could have used that opening segment for you to campaign for him, and then
it happens.
And then 10:15, it happens.
I look like the smartest guy in Philadelphia.
Right. You look like you were in touch with Dombrowski, and people are like, what does John Marks know?
No, it's actually not inside information. It's just me being a wise baseball guy. That's the guy they needed. He totally changes the complexion of this lineup. But defensively, what are they going to do? That's the rub, Ray. Trey Turner, you can't possibly move him off the shortstop. I need additional reporting. Is anybody else out there reporting on anything with Trey Turner? Any tweets that are out there? Because my first guess is, for whatever reason, they don't want to move him off the short because I believe because of him. If the organization's worried about ruining him, sorry. Man, your championship window is closing. And this isn't a quarterback where you can't make him the starter again. This is a guy that's like, hey, you suck defensively. You're going to have to move to left field, right? Move to left field.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell him that right now, but you're going to say, like, hey, we're going to move to your left field for the rest of the season, and then we'll figure it out after the season. He's the worst shortstop in baseball. He's 18 errors this year. It's the most errors in baseball. You know, it's not like that, hey, well, he could get better next year. No, you're not. You lose range and you lose ability. And that's what he's regressed big time. Just doesn't make sense, right?
No, makes zero sense, this whole thing. I don't get it.
Alex in Bethlehem has something on this. Alex, go ahead. How are you?
Yeah, what's up, guys? Yeah, I don't mean to be redundant. I definitely feel similar to the way you guys feel. Thrilled that we have Arraez. I don't see why we can't use him as like a super utility player. Moving Stott to a corner infield spot doesn't make any sense because he's so good in the center of the field. He makes so many plays for you with his speed and quickness. You're not maximizing his ability by moving him to third. So I refuse to believe that Stott is going to third base.
Where is he going? Left field? He's going to one. He's going to left field, or he's going to third base because Arraez is going to play second.
Well, I mean, maybe shortstop, like we've been calling for 2 years now. But I don't know. I just
doesn't seem like that. Listen, we agree. It doesn't seem like that's actually the case, right? So the reporters that are in the know have reported that this could happen. Bowman first base, Harper at right field, Stott stays at second, and Stott goes to third. So Stott, Trey Turner, Arraez, and Bohm with Harper in right field. And then the other one was Harper stays at first base, but Stott goes to the outfield. And then Arraez goes in at second base, which makes even less sense to me. I don't know. They're jumping through hoops to keep Trey Turner at shortstop.
Yeah, Johnny Marks, I don't know either, man. All I know is that Bryson Stott should be in the center of the field. That's my only wish. That's my only plea to the team. Keep Stott in the center of the diamond. Thanks, guys.
All right, appreciate it. Say he is above average to Gold Glove caliber at second base. Shortstop, he's probably above average. He's good. He's better than Turner. And now you're going to put him at third base or the outfield? It doesn't make sense to me. He should be your shortstop, period. The hell with Trey Turner. Put him in left field. Seriously. If you didn't think Trey Turner could handle it defensively and that's all you're not doing it, then okay. There's no way he's a shortstop. Of course he can handle left field. He's supposed to be one of the best athletes on the team.
Or he can't. It's the same thing he's got at shortstop right now.
Bull crap. He can play left. If Pat Burrell can play left field, Trey Turner can play left field. Give me a break. This is maddening that this is what they're going to do. So if Trey Turner doesn't move, what would you do on defense?
Trey Turner doesn't move.
He's at shortstop. What's the best case? Harper right field?
It's Harper and right. Yeah.
And Stott at third? See, I don't like that either.
Stott could figure out left field, I think.
I mean, I'm sure he could. He's a ball player.
Right. Oh, yeah. That kid's a ball player right there.
He can do left field.
Yeah.
But you're also learning on the fly.
Honestly, the best way to do this, Hey, Arraez, you're here to compete. Get your ass back to first. We're putting Harper in the outfield.
Yeah, but he's 5'8". I'll keep saying it. I know he's listed at 5'10". I'm listed at 5'10".
Right.
Not 5'10".
All right. I don't know if I believe that Bohm's getting down to scoop anything over there at first.
At least he's thought, well, Bohm's been okay at first. I don't know what he looks like every day. I think I know what he looks like every day.
We all know what it looks like every day.
That's why you get, like, oh, my God, if they could just put Trey Turner in left field, it solves everything.
Except for left field.
Trey Turner and Arraez up the middle. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh,
Damn
nothing.
it.
Nothing.
We have voice memos. All right, Davis on the text line. Go.
I'm thrilled they were able to acquire Arraez, but somehow a move like that makes me hate Trey Turner even more. That the entire team has to get moved around because he refuses to move to the outfield, and will take a chance at hurting one of our big offensive pieces in Bryce moving to the outfield. This guy is just too much and has had this team by the grapes since he got here.
Man, as he's talking, I'm Googling to see if anybody has, like what's the reasoning? So the club is going to have to talk. And I can't wait to hear the explanation. And maybe it's Donnie Baseball that's going to give the explanation. I don't know. Maybe Dave talks.
Oh, I think Dave speaks. I can't wait. We could be in for a generational Dave presser. We really could.
We have a good club. I guess we only find out if he becomes elite or he continues to be good.
Because his answer on Bryce moving back to the outfield could be the greatest piece of audio that we've ever gotten. Think about the honesty about a guy who had an 800-something OPS a year ago. 4 years after he was last in the outfield at the beginning of 2022. Dave's answer, well, do you think Bryce can handle right field?
Could he slide in well, Bryce has had a good season this year. He's been good at the plate. He's an all-star. I think he'll be fine in right field.
Sure.
So here's my question.
Fine line.
Is there any prepping Dave Dombrowski? For example, I'm assuming down at the Jeff, formerly NovaCare, that Nick Sirianni is as well informed as any coach in the league with what's coming his way, how to answer those questions, what to do, what not to do, and then he carries that out. Bob Lang, who is in charge of communications down there, does an excellent job with Nick. Nick's very good at handling because he man, when you speak every week after games, after A.J. Brown and everything else, he hasn't really stepped in it. He's done a great job. Now, before Bob, the previous regime in between Derek Boyko, you had Doug. And Doug went up there completely unprepared. I'm just wondering is Phillies communications being like, hey, Dave, here's the deal. Here's what was said before. You probably want to stay away from that. Here's what you should say. I don't think Dave's listening to that.
No.
At all. So that's how you get a press conference like you got at the end of the season where he's talking about they won the World Series if they would have just beaten the Dodgers.
And he hasn't done a lot of media.
He hasn't.
Last July, it was the Dave Dombrowski tour. He was on every MLB Network show. He hopped on Starkville with Jason Stark and Doug Glanville. He was on with the two guys up at the New York Post, Sherman and Heyman. He did everything. We haven't heard from him.
They were also guys that love him and weren't going to press him. Because if I was asking a question today, I'd say, Dave, just curious your thoughts on Bryce Harper. He's moving back to right field. In the offseason, you said that you don't know if he was just going to be good or he was going to be elite. So far, do you think Bryce has turned into an elite season? Because then that's where you get the honesty. And instead of saying like, listen, I know what I said back then. It didn't come out the way I wanted it to. Like, all I was saying was that Bryce has been better, and he's done it this year. He's been great. But he's not interested in doing that. Did you see over the weekend that apparently outside the clubhouse, Dombrowski had a conversation with Bryce and put his arm around him? Now, was that a staged moment? Was that a true, that it was so the media found out about it? Because I'll tell you, Bryce Harper and Dave Dombrowski being on good terms is important.
Where did we see this? How did this escape my timeline?
You were down the shore.
Yeah, but I wasn't tapped
Google
out
it. I mean, it could have been
entirely.
a Facebook fake story like you're all over the place, I'm learning. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw on Saturday that they had a conversation in the clubhouse, a private one-on-one conversation where he was seen putting his arm around Bryce and talking to him.
Wow. That deserves one of these for sure.
How about that?
I think it deserves this.
How about that?
But that's good, right?
Yeah, it's great considering last week we were talking about a Cold War between Dave Dombrowski, who tore down the wall.
And Don the dummy comes out and has the front office's back, which is his son, and doesn't have Bryce's back. And I mean, like, God, thank God an adult got involved and had a conversation with Bryce Harper. God, Mattingly, hey, Don, you didn't win with the Yankees. You were a great player. You didn't win squat with the Yankees. All right? So stop acting like that you're the best thing ever, for God's sakes.
Wow. All right. Yeah, Mac Yell put it out there. All right. Let's do it. We're winning a World Series this year, damn it. Let's go.
Now you're on. Now you feel good.
The Cold War's over.
Does he now salute Dave Dombrowski after a home run?
Well, I mean, now we know he was on board with this whole moving to the outfield thing for sure. If they're cool,
they're cool. Bryce, like Dave Dombrowski needs to be the one to clear the air here.
Yeah,
because if Bryce is still pissed, he should be still pissed.
I guess we only find out if he becomes the elite or he continues to be good.
Oh, see, the umpire, JT said he apologized, see.
The only thing I kept up with was Gelb's stories over the last 3 days, and I missed this one. You know, I should resign. I'm not even worth this post anymore.
It slid in the radar on a Saturday morning, I think. If I'm working and I'm not on vacation, dude, I didn't watch the Phillies for a week. I didn't watch one game when I was down the shore, and it was glorious.
And it was great.
It was great.
Horrible.
This team is not fun at all. This season sucks.
This has been what we've seen.
Man. And they're a playoff team, but this season sucks.
Rob Thompson's hanging out by the pool his wife built.
Yeah, I want Thompson back. Seriously, we're gonna go on any type of thing. Yeah, let's bring Thompson back. Seriously, they would start winning games if they got Don Mattingly out of here. God, I can't stand him.
Dusty for Mitch.
Yeah, I don't know if I need Dusty Waffle. All right, coming up, News at Noon with Ray, featuring a cursing former Met. This is hilarious. Happy soccer coaches, and we're talking about a bar of soap. Huh? That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5.
Now on 97.5, The Fanatic Sports Update.
6 hours till the deadline. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. That's a little bit more than 6 hours, but you get the point. 6 o'clock tonight, the Major League Baseball trade deadline. The Phillies already with a pair of moves today. Luis Arraez and Caleb Killian to the Phillies in exchange for Ramon Marquez and Marty Guerre. The Giants sending Arraez and Killian. Arraez reportedly going to play second base. So what does that do to the Phillies infield? Where does stock go, and how do the pieces move around that? We'll continue to talk about that configuration and everything that goes into making that deal for the Phillies throughout the show today. Phillies also acquired left-hander Brooks Raley from the Mets earlier today. They traded right-handed pitcher Luke Gabrish and outfielder John Spikerman. So the Phillies added to their bullpen, adding to their lineup. Remains to be seen whether or not they go get a starting pitcher or another bat. Dodgers dealt for Tarek Skubal on Saturday night. They sent back 3 prospects to the Tigers. Dodgers currently 69-43. We'll keep you updated all the big moves across Major League Baseball. Eagles training camp continues today. We're 12 days away from the first preseason game for the Birds. This update is brought to you by Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa. Don't miss Borgata's $1 million Summer Showdown. 2 lucky players will win a 2026 Mercedes-Benz. Drawings held every Saturday, include a grand prize drawing August 29th. Must be present to win. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic.
Right here, 97.5 The Fanatic. You're not going to get better coverage. Ricky Bowe and Bill Calarulo coming up. They'll take you right until 6 o'clock, and that is the trade deadline. And everybody's pumped up. Big trade by the Phillies. And we'll get back to it coming up here. But if I don't want to go overboard because maybe they are going to move Trey Turner, and this is just, I don't know. Like Embiid he was missing a game, and I was going crazy, and he ended up having emergency surgery. I'm trying to temper ripping Trey Turner and the Phillies. But if he's the shortstop when this is all said and done, and they've jumped through hoops to keep him at shortstop, I can tell you how I'm going to react to that. I'm going to be pissed. We'll see.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. Let's keep your worst defensive player at his premium position and move everybody else around and screw up everybody else.
Right, yeah. Let's see if Bryson Stott can play third base. Speaking of things that haven't happened in a presidential term, Stott was your opening day third baseman in 2022.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Why don't I remember that?
Because everybody remembers him as the shortstop. He ended up...
Who was your second baseman?
Was it Gene?
Segura? It would have been Segura.
Because it was...
No?
Didi still around at that point?
I don't think so.
For opening day, did he get DFA'd in 2022 or 2021? He might have gotten DFA'd in 2022.
It might have been the World Series. Was it the World Series year? Anyway, regardless, I think Stott will be fine at third base. Maybe even an upgrade over Bohm, but you're moving everybody around because of it. So, Phillies acquire Luis Arraez. People are probably tuned in for that. Big day on the Fanatic. We'll keep you updated on every friggin' rumor. Even if we think it's a fake rumor, we'll put it out there. Right, Ray?
That's right. Didi Gregorius, by the way, batting sixth at shortstop for your opening day of 2022. Schwarber, the leadoff man in left field. JT Realmuto doing the catching, batting second. Bryce Harper in right, batting third. Nick Castellanos, your designated hitter, batting cleanup.
God.
Rhys Hoskins batting fifth at first base. Your shortstop, Didi Gregorius, batting sixth, batting seventh. Gene Segura at second base. Bryson Stott at third and batting eighth. And finally, in center field, batting ninth, Matty Carshields, Matt Vierling.
God.
Aaron Nola got the opening day start.
What an awful team.
And they went to the World Series
I
that
know.
year.
Well, a lot of things changed from that right there.
Yeah, Familia came in for Nola. Brad Hand relieved him.
Oh, my
Dominguez, Corey Knebel.
That was Joe Girardi's team. No wonder they sucked.
Yeah.
Everybody blamed Joe. That's a terrible team.
No, they needed the message of Rob. That's what they needed.
Rhys Hoskins at first base couldn't even catch the ball. He was so bad defensively.
Well, maybe that's their plan at first.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, listen, we'll get back to it, but let's get to the news at noon with Ray.
News at noon. News at noon. News at noon.
When it's lunch and you're wondering what will you do?
News at noon.
So you reach for a sandwich and turn on YouTube.
News at noon.
And my man Ray fills you in all on the news.
News at noon.
And I knew there was no help from Sean.
News at noon.
So give us Skip, Stephen A. and Mad Dog some bad player podcasts. Drive us crazy. So bring it to us, Ray. So here is the news at noon.
I saw Petrilli in the YouTube comments. I couldn't resist.
That's a great one.
It's a great one. It's an electric open. Always is for the news at noon with BP. BP, how was he on Friday?
Hey, he had a good idea for a game, but then the execution was off a little bit. He couldn't read his own writing. He had fortune cookie or Jalen Hurts.
Oh, it's good. That's good content right there.
It's a great idea, but then he couldn't read his writing. And I'd encouraged him to get the AI voice to do it, and he was resisting it. So I said, okay, listen, I'm going to let you do it.
And then, yeah, it happens. Hey, as long as you throw a good idea out there,
It's a great idea.
Comes.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah, he's got good stuff. He just can't locate it yet. It's all
Correct.
right.
The command's not there.
Yeah. The Jalen Hurts thing, I had fortune cookie last week. I got 2 of them with the Chinese food I got. I tossed one to my buddy of like, hey, listen, I'm not going to eat 2 fortune cookies. He got the better of the 2 fortunes. You're going to come into great wealth. I got, it's great to show up to work every day.
You eat fortune cookies?
Well, I like the fortune.
Oh.
The fortune cookie's not that good.
No, it sucks. That's what I'm saying. I throw them out. I don't even open them.
Oh, no, you got open them.
I don't. Unless
I
it's the
having that suspense of like, oh, wow, this is like 10 minutes where I believe something good's going to happen to me.
So you and a buddy are sitting around eating Chinese and reading fortunes?
No, I was eating Chinese while the rest of the people were watching the Phillies game. I just tossed it to someone that was watching.
You have roommates?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't invite one friend over for Chinese.
I don't.
We light the candle. It's a little dark in there, hey, bud. Read that fortune to me.
All right.
All right. Let's start with the 1986 world champion New York Mets. Ray Knight amongst the Mets back over the weekend as they celebrate the 40th anniversary of that championship team. Asked about seeing all the guys, how fun it is to be around everyone once more. Here is his answer on the broadcast. Remember, live television.
I love those guys. They love me. We love each other. And, it goes from top to bottom, from your best player to the worst player, although there weren't any worse players on that team. And it's just, we hug. And, I had 4 or 5 guys that give me a kiss on the cheek. I kissed a couple guys on the cheek. People think what they want. I don't give a but I do know one thing. I like going to war with those men.
How did we end up there?
So if you give him a breathalyzer right there, what's he blowing on the breathalyzer? 0.12?
Yeah.
0.09?
It's got to be over 0.1.
Over the limit, but he's not. Maybe he is, who knows? But I would say that he was legally intoxicated.
Yeah. And what you know about those Mets teams?
Yeah.
Kind of fits.
I'm surprised he wasn't worse with those Mets teams. You kidding me? They were notorious for a lot of other things other than booze.
Speaking of which, guess who made an appearance?
Straw?
Lenny.
Really? Sober Lenny Dykstra. Apparently he's been sober for a while now.
Yes, sober Lenny. Apparently made an appearance.
I wonder if sober Lenny's nicer than non-sober Lenny, who's a really, really bad guy.
Well, maybe men's fences. Who knows? I'm not really one to find out.
I'm out. Yeah, he can.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Someone else could give him attention. He could go on some podcast. We don't need him here. All right, moving on. I will take you out to Portland because I know you were just dying to talk about how the Timbers have turned their season around in Major League Soccer.
Before we came on.
Yeah, before the Arraez trade, that was what was leading the show. But Jack Cassidy, their interim coach, after the game, 3-0-1 since he took over, had this line for the media.
I've heard I won't have to buy a drink anymore. That's the rumour. So if anyone sees me, I like a 0% Heineken, and my wife's a red wine. So just make sure everyone knows that for when they see me out.
My question to you is not so much about the fact that he's getting a 9% Heineken, which if you're not drinking, I'm totally cool with that. But hey, works with me. I want to know who actually qualifies for the list of doesn't have to pay for a drink anymore. Because we throw out that phrase all the time. But everyone in this town seemingly still pays for drinks when they come here. Like, who are you really buying a drink for?
Andy Reid always says he still never paid for a meal in Philadelphia. Like when they ask him about Philadelphia, he'll use that line. I've heard him use it a couple times. I mean, I don't know. If I own a restaurant and Andy Reid comes in, of all the people I want to give free meals to, it ain't him. He's got lots of money.
That's what I'm saying. If you're sitting down at the end of the bar and you look down the bar and you're like, holy smokes, that's fill in the blank. Who's not paying for the drink?
I mean, I'd buy drinks for Coop. Right? Anybody.
Everybody's buying drinks for
any
Coop
of the
nowadays.
athletes I'm buying around for. That's not a problem. But as far as like, am I giving up a $500 dinner because Andy Reid came in? No, he can pay.
Yeah.
Give him an appetizer or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not Andy Reid. I'm definitely not covering the whole
Hey, if
thing.
he wants to put it on social media and I feel like that I can get something out of it, like with Pete Cherokee, he'll take the picture with everybody and he hangs it up. I'm pretty sure Pete comps everybody, all the athletes. In fact, I know that.
Yeah, that's a good guy. That's,
and he uses it to his advantage down by the stadium or whatever.
To be fair, if I saw Pete's not buying a drink, I'll buy the drink for Pete.
Right. But I guess your question is, does that guy deserve free drinks?
That guy definitely doesn't.
No.
But I'm just saying, if we throw around the phrase of you'll never have to buy drinks in this town again, there's a lot of people that have bought drinks since they've been declared never buying drinks again in this town.
I think Eagles are the only people that will never have. And I guess LeBron, but he doesn't seem like a big go out and drink guy.
Oh, wait, Phillies. I would probably buy him around.
Oh, yeah. No, I would buy any athlete around for the most part.
Fair enough.
Even Trey Turner. I'd buy around. Tell him to go
drop it.
kick rots to left field.
All right, let's go to the Phillies-Orioles broadcast yesterday. On the other side of things, Orioles broadcast, the color analyst Ben McDonald revealing something about himself. Brandon Marsh is up at the plate. Oh, look at the locks on that guy. Look at that guy's hair. Here's the conversation they had on Massa.
A little bit of hype from Bradish. You think you use the same amount of product in your hair as Brandon Marsh does? No way. For me, it's just a bar of soap. A bar of soap? Yeah. I've never used shampoo. Not once, ever. Just a bar of soap in the hair.
Not once ever. I don't use a bar of soap, but I've used soap on. Sure, I have. I don't always need to use shampoo. I don't wash my hair every day. Probably wash my hair 5 times a week. There'll be days that I don't.
That's fine. So you use the bar of soap every day of your life on your hair?
Yeah, it's weird.
It's horrible.
That's crazy. No, it's
poor form.
I mean, it's just he must be a total psycho. Why would you want to do that? Like, what's the advantages of just using bars of soap unless you're crazy? Right? Like, I mean, he could afford to buy some Head and Shoulders or something. I use Head and Shoulders. Is what I use.
Oh, I wish I could tell you the brand. I have no idea. It's a Target.
Suave.
No.
Use Target brand. That's okay.
It's not Target's brand. It's just I saw it at Target once. I got it. I'm like, oh, this is nice. I'm
and
gonna
you like
keep
it?
with this. Yeah.
Does it make your hair fluffy?
My hair, I think, is just naturally fluffy. Fortunately.
You don't put any product in it?
No product.
Why not?
Why would I?
I obviously put product in my hair.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, like, if you ask me why, I would say that it makes it look better.
Yeah.
If it's fluffy, it doesn't look as good. I'm not ripping your hair. I'm just wondering why you never tried it. You've never tried it?
Because I don't like the hair product like this. Then I got something I got to continually do. Also, if it gets longer, then I got to cut it more often. I'm not looking to sit down in the chair every 3 weeks.
No?
No.
That's what I do.
Yeah. And that's fine. Maybe someday.
So I have a canister of American Crew fiber. Matt Menark's out there, our imaging director. Don't you think Ray should put some product in his hair so we can see what it looks like? Go for a little bit.
No, I can't today. I got the podcast later. I'm not going on that podcast.
Might make it look good.
Oh, no, it won't.
I'll say tomorrow for the show. Will you do it tomorrow?
Sure, I'll do it tomorrow.
After the news at noon.
Yeah,
Sean will be back.
Yeah, we'll put the product in it. Oh, God. I hate the feeling of the product in the hair. It's gross.
I have better product because this is a considered a high hold, but it's not as forming as some of the other stuff. I like a forming cream. Is what I like. This is called Fiber. High hold, low shine. These are like $17 a piece.
I'm sure they're expensive.
I know.
I pay nothing to look like this.
I know. No, I mean that's you make it work for you, but I've never seen you with.
Probably the last time I had product in my hair, I was in middle school. I was probably going to like a CYO dance.
I don't know if you've ever seen Menark without a hat on.
Really?
You wear when you're on TV. Do you wear the hat still, Matt? You do? Let me see your hair. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have known that. Matt could use Morgenstern hair restoration, but he's fine with it because he keeps it short. But yeah, he's got male pattern baldness, like you do or will.
I will. Oh,
like
100%.
I do.
Yeah,
like I do.
It's happening.
All right. Well, before we get back on the Phillies, because we're going to be glued to them the rest of the show, you were just down. Your family has a house down the Jersey Shore, correct?
Yes. Wildwood Crest.
So you were down there all weekend. Sean was where? Is he in Brigantine? I think he's in Brigantine.
Great question. Ocean City was the gut feel.
No, I think he's. For some reason, I think he's in Brigantine, just based on. I could be wrong. Based on some conversations we were having.
Avalon. He sent me a video from Icona.
Avalon.
Yeah.
Yes, he said Avalon. That's a very Sean place to go.
Yeah.
Avalon.
Very Princeton
regal.
saw him once, twice this week for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a Sean place to go. This isn't just in Ocean City, but if you've been down the shore, I don't know if I said this on the air, but my 2-year-old niece, Aubrey, just had a cheese stick in her hand. And she wasn't out in the open running around, waving it around. She was still technically under the tent, but you can see how the seagull managed to come in, swooped in, grabbed the cheese stick, and was gone right from her hands. Scared her to death. It's not the first time. I've seen hoagies taken from people's hands. And if you're inexperienced down there and you just sit down on the outside of a tent and you're eating, those things, that's how they survive, is stealing food on the beach. I don't know what they do when people are on the beach. Maybe they fly south for the winter. But, if you drop a chip, they know it. And there's like 5 of them fighting to the death to try to get that potato chip. And I've seen people attacked with pizza walking away from a Manco and Manco. These friggin' seagulls are a real nuisance. Well, this was in Atlantic City over the weekend. Emergency personnel, and this is according to somebody on Twitter, emergency personnel are responding to Atlantic City Beach for a seagull that flew into someone's eye. The beak went through the eye, and their eye is being held near the socket by lifeguards. It's reportedly out of the skull. A landing zone's being set up, and they're going to fly the patient to a trauma center at Wills Eye Institute. So they literally needed to air vac him out because the eye was out of the skull because this friggin' seagull ran into his eye with the beak. And, dude, I'm telling you, these things, they got to do something about it. I don't know if it's that was Atlantic City and Ocean City because the erosion of the beaches, and they've been doing work to make the beaches bigger, but it's not an overnight process. Some of the smaller beaches, there's so many people that they're like lined. You're like set up on top of each other. There's no room, and you deal with it. I'm fine with it, but it's the seagulls are. It's like they're attack animals. It's like you're a little bunny. Your food's like a little bunny, and you're afraid to do anything because of these freaking seagulls.
It's why I don't eat on the beach, truthfully. I avoid eating on the beach because I don't want to deal with them trying to dive attack me. I realize that's a very unrealistic expectation for those that do the 8-hour beach day where they've got the kids and all that stuff.
The little kids are the ones that...
Yeah, you can't realistically expect not to eat. It makes me more upset because yesterday I'm sitting out in the back of Congress Hall down there in Cape May, enjoying a nice time with my aunt, my uncle, my cousin, my aunt's friend, my grandparents were sitting there having the drink. And next to us is a table of 3 kids that could have been older than like 10, 11, 12 years old. Maybe even younger than that. No parents. Not a parent in sight. They're sitting at this place that, again, I'm not telling you I'm sitting up at the bar, in a nice shirt, drinking a fancy cocktail. I'm having a Cape May IPA with my family. But still, Congress Hall's a nice-ish place, like especially back there. They got 3 kids, no parental supervision, just tossing food into the field. And it's like, who is responsible for these kids? I tweeted out afterwards, the greatest fear of my life now is raising one of these kids that thinks it's okay to feed the seagulls. Now there's seagulls dive bombing, coming to get the food, and I'm looking up. We're sitting under this nice umbrella. I'm looking up at the umbrella. It's white. You could see the bird crap on top of it because they're starting to drop because they're starting to eat.
Well, so that's a hangout among seagulls. That's probably
when you got 3 kids acting like morons, tossing food for them.
Well, I mean, and the parents had no idea what was going on or no care in the world.
I have no idea where these parents were.
Well, you got to shut that down immediately. You can't do that. Absolutely, positively not. You can't. And that's why you see people on the beach. It's like, no, you can't do that. Like you can't. You're eating a hoagie out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, whoops! I dropped the chip. Oh, look, there's 7 seagulls that are fighting for it. It's the worst.
If it slips, fine. But if you're tossing food for the seagulls, you deserve to be imprisoned.
Now, so you know what they did in Ocean City? I don't know if they did it this year, but they had I think it was a falcon or 2, and this guy would walk up and down the boardwalk with the falcon on like his arm on that brace that they have. Mm-hmm. Seagulls are scared. Ooh. They're a natural predator for the seagull.
So we need falcons.
We just need them all over the place. Either that or guns. I'm not kidding, and I don't like harming anything, any animals or anything like that. I don't need my eye taken out by one of these freaking things.
That's terrifying. That makes me even more upset with these kids.
Yep. No, they're dangerous. They're absolutely dangerous, and they're like you know what I have? I have the wiffle ball bat. When the kids are eating, I'm on patrol. It's like I'm on cell block 6, and I'm walking back and forth. I'm like, yep, come on. And they try to weasel in. You'll go over to one side, you'll get them coming in on the other side, and I chase them out.
Oh yeah, I'm a chaser when it comes to that.
You should see me. I'm like the old man with the fly swatter.
Oh, the fly swatter got some use this weekend at the shore house. Yeah.
Good.
Becomes a nice game.
Yeah, I'm a fly swatter guy.
Yeah, who can get the most? I felt really good yesterday. Had one up against the window. Boom!
One last seagull story. Many years ago, I worked at the Delaware beaches in Rehoboth at Thrasher's. There's the French fry spot on the boardwalk. Mm-hmm. So picture boardwalk French fry place, and there's the metal ledge on the outside of the window where you can put the napkins, the salt and vinegar because they don't have ketchup. Straw, like whatever else they put out there, straws or whatever else. So it's natural for somebody to have the big bucket of fries that one falls out. And once it falls out on the dirty counter, are you really going to pick that up and eat it? No, you leave it. So that's why the seagulls are constantly swarming, because when that fry either falls on the ground or goes on the counter, these seagulls they're fighting to the death to get it. So we used to set it up. We would leave the door open and the window open, and then we would put a French fry right like almost inside the window, like half in, half outside. And then we had a hose that we would spray the floor with and we would scrub the floor with. And you could take the hose anywhere in the place. And it was awesome. It made cleanup really good. And I would sit there and we'd put the fry and bait the seagull to come and then blast it with the hose. Cat and mouse game. It was like Tom and Jerry all over again. Blast them. That's what we did. These seagulls are dumb. They'll fall for it every time when they see the French fry.
Yeah, of course.
No seagulls were harmed in doing this.
Yeah,
before I get animal rights people.
It's too late. Peter's already got us on a tweet. Cancel Middays with Marks.
Good. It was good times, brother. Good times. All right, where's everybody with the trade? Is everybody happy with the rise, or you're so mad because Trey Turner looks like he's going to keep his spot? I'm trying to forget that. Because originally with the rise, when they made the trade at 9:40-ish this morning, I was so pumped up because he gives you what this lineup needs, which is a legit bat. He's your best hitter. He's going to hit first or second in the lineup. He doesn't strike out. He has 21 strikeouts this year and 400 and some odd at bats. Look at the rest of the guys. You had mentioned Trey Turner before, but Schwarber's at an all-time pace for strikeouts. He's got to be well over 100 at this point. Harper's got to be close. These guys strike out a lot, and unfortunately, you don't have a contact hitter. Arraez is the definition of a high-contact, high-average hitter. I think it was 324 because I have his splits in front of me, but, I mean, he's having a really, really good year. Now, you got to put him at second base. It's the most likely position. That's where he wanted to play, which means you're going to have to maneuver around. It shows you how desperate. We had one caller earlier that said, man, the Phillies are really desperate. Yeah, they are really desperate. Are you not desperate? Ray, are you desperate as a fan right now?
Of course I'm desperate. Just watch the Dodgers get Scooble. Sitting here like, oh, yeah, I can't wait to see Painter make the start every fifth day. He looked real good over the weekend.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. He ended up working out. But they should be desperate to add. This lineup stinks. Mm-hmm. You kidding me? Arraez at least gives them a pulse to where if guys can, and we're doing the if game, if guys get hot at the right time. But don't underestimate what a bat like Arraez can do in this lineup for all your big boppers. Trey Turner might bat fourth now. Schwarber and Arraez are going to be 1-2. I would be shocked if there was anything else. But again, maybe you never know. Maybe, Ray, they keep him at shortstop because they know they're moving him in the order, too, and they don't want to totally piss him off. Like, we're not to clean up is any slap in the face, but still, it kind of is to where they're saying you're not a top 3 bat. Well, he's not.
Yeah. I don't know. As you look up at the scoreboard, maybe he doesn't understand the numbers on the scoreboard, but as you look up at the scoreboard, like, your numbers aren't that of a leadoff guy. Sub 300 OPS for the season, or OBP for the season.
All right, well, listen, we'll take your reaction. Still a lot of time here, 5 hours and 40 minutes for the trade deadline. 610-632-0975 Phillies have also added a reliever in that package and added another reliever that's having a great season from the Mets. We'll update you on everything, and we'll get your reaction on the Davis Honda text line and on the phone line of 610-632-0975 Middays with Marks. Let's talk about your hair for a second. I brought up Matt Menard. I didn't want to, I should have called him out for his hair. But, that's the great thing is if you're going bald, you can shave your head or you can just go with what you have. It doesn't matter. It's about you, right? There's a lot of people that would like to save their hair, that would like to keep their hair. Maybe you want to get your hair back. That's what Morgenstern Hair Restoration is all about. Today's hair restoration is more than just hair transplants. It's about prevention as well. There's topical treatments, medications, and non-invasive options that are designed to keep the hair that you already have. So if you're saying, hey, my hair's okay right now, I don't want to lose any more, Morgenstern Hair Restoration. It's a team that has over 30 years of experience in hair restoration. Same team I've had a relationship with for 15 years going on now. That's what makes all the difference is where you go. So you could trust an algorithm on Facebook or Instagram, or you could go to the experts. That's Morgenstern Hair Restoration. 3 locations in Pennsylvania, Ballard, Kenwood, Wayne, Lancaster. Call them today, 610-831-HAIR. 610-831-HAIR. Their website with a lot of good information is morgensternhair.com. Morgan with an E, morgensternhair.com.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
What's still to come? I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update brought to you by Rosenbaum Injury Law. Because if you've been injured, don't settle for less because winning means everything. Call Rosenbaum & Associates today for a free consultation. Phillies have already made 2 deals today. We'll keep you updated if anything else happens. So far, it's Luis Arraez and Caleb Killian coming from the Giants to the Phillies. Ramon Marquez, Marty Guerra being sent to San Francisco in exchange. Arraez apparently going to play second base for the Phillies. That means reconfiguring their infield. We'll keep you updated with whatever the Phillies decide to do with their infield going forward. They also acquired left-handed reliever Brooks Raley from the Mets. They gave up right-hander Luke Gabrish and outfielder John Spikerman up to New York. So Raley with a sub-2 ERA joins the Phillies bullpen and figures to be one of the late-inning guys from the left-hand side. The big deal, the deadline continues to be the Dodgers dealing for Tarek Skubal on Saturday night. Sent back 3 prospects to Detroit. Dodgers currently 69-43 on the season. Eagles training camp continues on today. They are 12 days away from their first preseason game. This update is also brought to you by the New Jersey Department of Health. Public health works behind the scenes, building a healthier future for everyone. One mission working for you. Learn more, nj.gov/health. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic.
I can still remember when I was a little youth. Music who make a day, I'm like a gumball.
All right, we're back middays with Marks. Ricky Bo in studio today, deadline day. Cannot wait for the show as the Phillies have already made big moves. This is early, right when we're getting on the air. Luis Arraez, and Caleb Killian to the Phillies for their number 4 overall prospect, Ramon Marquez, and some other prospects as well. And then they made a trade for lefty reliever from the Mets. What's his first name? Brandon Raley?
Brooks.
Brooks Raley. That's right, Brooks. So good, Ray, so far. Thumbs up. Good moves.
Solid. Yeah, solid start.
Solid?
Yeah.
Dude, this is a good trade for Arraez. I know what it does defensively. It's going to drive people
It depends
crazy,
what they do with the lineup, too.
He's going to hit first or second.
Yeah, and if that means that Schwarber hits 4th, I'm going to lose my mind.
All right, we'll see. You're right. We'll see.
There's a lot of things, again, in the vacuum, getting the player is good. To me, the downturn effects that getting the player does to everything they might line up with is making me concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to, I mean, maybe the way Schwarber's been batting recently. No, you put Trey Turner at 4.
You do.
You do. You also move him in the outfield, which you're not going to do.
Right.
But anyway, well, listen, as Dave Dombrowski
I think we have a good club.
said multiple times, they have a good club. Well, Ray, joining us in the studio right now, he's coming to apologize because, as usual, he's got an axe to grind with Bryce Harper, and he was very hard on him last week. His name is Bill Colarulo. He's the host of Unfiltered
pissed me off.
with Ricky Bo. Hi, Bill.
All right, first of all, hello. Hello, Ray. I don't have an axe to grind with Bryce Harper. I got no problem with Bryce Harper. But thank God he spoke up because they weren't going to do anything, according to you, John.
Uh-oh, Ricky's showing you something. Do we have potential breaking news coming in?
Yeah, that works. We're working on a guest for tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're working on a good guest. But, like, the way you're talking, I'm listening to you coming in. You literally said, if Bryce Harper didn't speak up last week, this move doesn't happen.
Maybe
a move that's been rumored for weeks that they'd be interested in Arraez, a move that's been rumored every deadline that maybe they would be interested in Arraez. Thank God Bryce Harper said, we need some help, because I don't think anyone else realized it. Thank God we have Bryce Harper speaking up.
Maybe they don't want to give up their number 4 prospect if there's not urgency put on the organization by the player. Just because you say, oh, it's been rumored, doesn't mean they're going to do it. They're rumored for a lot of things, Bill. You know what? If they wanted Scooble, he'd be a Philly right now. They just would have had to improve their offer. They weren't willing to do it. They're willing to do it here. That's a legitimate That's a legitimate prospect they traded for a freaking rental. It doesn't hit home runs.
And I like it because it was Todd Selecki who I think said it on your show last week. The team's pot committed now. They had to try to go all in, even if you don't believe that they could beat the Dodgers. You couldn't sit on your hands.
So what's the downside of Harper saying it?
The downside of him saying it at the time was if they weren't able to come through. But they did. So now I look back. I'm not apologizing to Bryce. I still disagree that he should have been the one speaking about it, because when you put pressure on Dombrowski to get the job done. He already had pressure to get the job done. But if he didn't, if another team outbid him for Arraez, and you're sitting here now, then basically you say, wave the white flag because we can't win anymore.
Well, they didn't, and he's so unselfish he's going to go to right field possibly, depending on what happens with the infield. Again, you say, oh, God, moving a guy off of first base that doesn't want to go back to the outfield because he knows it's what's best for the team, he very easily could be like potentially Trey Turner that doesn't want to move off the shortstop.
All right, that's a whole other issue that we could talk about. But here's what I think. This is going to come off like I hate Bryce Harper. I don't, all right? I don't have an axe to grind with Bryce Harper. But what he does is he's got you right in the palm of his hand, just like he wants, and half the fan base, and a lot of them are starting to realize it now. Him speaking up last week, him bringing his outfield glove is, oh, man, how great is Bryce Harper? He spoke up, he put pressure on Dave, and he's willing to move to the outfield. The same people, and I thought you were better than this, John, are the ones freaking out. Oh, he got a Fanatic tattoo. He loves us. Bryce Harper's one of us.
I know. He actually put an effort to embracing the fan base in the city. I know. Terrible. Terrible. Seriously. I wish he would have just ignored everybody and been like Juan Soto.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with the pandering. I get it. People like it. But he does do these things because it's all about his brand.
But, dude, we're past the pandering thing. So you're bringing up stuff about winning Fanatic. Who cares? I don't care anymore about that. I want to win.
Yes, but you falling into his hands of him saying we need help and saying this move doesn't get done if Bryce Harper doesn't speak up is ridiculous.
No, but I didn't say that. It put pressure on the organization. And I'm only saying it because louts like you come out and they criticize him.
I almost spit out my coffee.
No, and they have to seriously, right? All I had to hear from him and from all the other people like him, oh, Bryce is so selfish. Oh, the poor person that's going to lose their job. Bryce is saying you're not good enough. Guess what? They weren't. And so now that person that is now going to lose their job on the active roster on the 25-man, so what? That's what happens if you don't perform.
But that was my secondary issue with it. My main issue with it was if you were unable to improve the lineup. Now, they were, so we're good. We're sitting here talking about Luis
it being
Arraez.
so likely they were going to get it. So, like, what are you talking
What
about?
I'm saying is if they were unable to improve the lineup, Bryce Harper signaled to his entire team, we're not good enough. I don't like that message from the leader. All right, let me ask you. This trade deadline in the NFL, if the Eagles' offense is struggling and Jalen Hurts comes to the podium and says, we need some help, I need a wide receiver, you're going to say, wow, good for Jalen Hurts for speaking up. No freaking way.
He didn't say wide receiver. He didn't say specific
Yes,
position.
he did. Do you need a batter or a pitcher?
Well,
we need both.
But that's
we
all
need
there
both.
are. That's all there are. He didn't say third baseman. He didn't say outfielder. He didn't single out anything.
Answer the question.
He said the obvious.
Answer the question. If Jalen Hurts says we need another weapon, he would get killed and you know it.
Do they need another weapon?
I don't know.
Then I wouldn't kill him. If they need a weapon, it's fairly obvious. No, they shouldn't have a problem with it.
All right, time
at
out.
all.
Then
at all.
Then let's make it
at all.
Let's make it apples to apples. Jalen Hurts is having a terrible month leading into the trade deadline in the NFL. His completion percentage is down. He's throwing interceptions. They're struggling, and he goes, "We need some help." People would rip him. But when it's Bryce Harper, it's oh my God, thank you, Bryce.
Let's move off of Bryce Harper. To your point with Jalen Hurts, he hasn't been treated fairly at all, no matter what.
No, he really
He's a
hasn't.
Super Bowl MVP. All right, so this is now, and I don't want to take too much because you're coming up at 2 o'clock, but it's really interesting that the Phillies are like the one move they feel like they're not willing to do is to move Trey Turner off of shortstop.
I don't get it.
Which is the one move you should make because he's your worst defensive player.
Yeah, listen, and I'm going at it about Harper, but if he is willing to move to the outfield, I give him a lot of credit because then you look at Turner. The only reason they wouldn't move Trey to the outfield is because he doesn't want to. There's no other explanation for it. Anybody who even knows anything about baseball could look at the infield and say, he's your worst infielder, move him to the outfield. I don't understand it at all, man. And if that's in fact the case, I'm going to be frustrated. Here's what I'm hoping, though, John, and we come on the air at 2. I'm hoping at some point between 2 and 6, we get Alec Boehm has been traded, and now you're going to move some things around.
No.
Harper's not moving to the outfield.
But who wants Alec Boehm?
That's what I said Ricky and I were talking about it. Who wants an expiring contract for Alec Boehm?
Well, you would have to trade player for player because no one wants to give up a prospect. And honestly, I don't know. Like, I would rather have Boehm than not have Boehm unless I'm getting a player that's playing right now and you're trading player for player. That rarely happens.
Yeah, the only way I would trade Boehm, and again, I don't know who would want him, but if it does help you fix your starting rotation a little bit, if you could get a starting pitcher for him that could start a playoff game. Jason Stark's been telling us every week Dombrowski's goal is to bring in a starting pitcher they can trust in a playoff game.
Well, that's Robbie Ray is rumored San Francisco.
But
that would
why
make a lot of sense.
But why would San Francisco want Alec Boehm? Right? That doesn't make sense.
They don't.
So I don't know. But
you could trade Boehm and you get a starting pitcher with a different trade. I just what makes the most sense to me is Trey Turner moves to the outfield. He's your right-handed hitting outfielder. And if you move him down in the lineup, and that's the next thing to talk about, where does he hit? You bat him fourth. He's the cleanup hitter. He's actually got good power. So you may see him turning around a little bit. And I know you have 3 hitters at the top of the lineup that are left-handed hitters. Arraez is good against lefties, and Schwarber's good against lefties.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about this on the way in. I think we're eye to eye. Ricky and I are going to debate kind of how you organize the top 3, but it has to be your 3 best hitters. It's got to be, even though they're all lefties, it's got to be Arraez, Schwarber, Harper in some order, right? And I agree with you. Turner is probably an upgrade as a cleanup
He's
hitter.
a huge upgrade over Boehm. He just is, because then Boehm gets pushed back a little bit in the lineup, and that benefits him.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you that if you said we're going to trade out Boehm, I'm not screaming no, but I'd rather have him on the team as a right-handed bat with Turner.
I just hate, and this isn't necessarily Boehm's fault, but I hate if Turner's not willing to move, that you're going to put Turner, keep him at short. You're going to have Boehm at first. You're going to move Stott to third. You're going to have Arraez at second.
You're moving heaven and earth for Turner.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
I don't understand it.
Unless he says, no, I'm not moving, or don't move me, and they're worried about losing him.
That would really bother me. That would bother me more than what Harper said.
So 2 bats that were rumored come off the the market. Joe Adele going to Cleveland, and then Taylor Ward to the Mariners, both connected to the Phillies because they were right-handed power bats. Not surprised. It didn't feel like they were in on them. I don't know the package that came in return. But the two bats that a lot of people that have connected the Phillies to are now traded, not to the Phillies.
But don't you get the feeling once they got Arraez, they're done looking for bats?
Maybe one more.
Maybe.
Not a trade like that.
Not a big name like
They're
that.
going to get the starting pitcher. That's what they're going to give up. And probably another reliever.
Yeah, look, I give Jason Stark a lot of credit. He has been consistent for weeks on the show saying Dave will get all three. He's looking for a bat. Doesn't have to be right-handed, just an improvement. He's looking for a bullpen arm, and he's looking for a starting pitcher. He said, and he guaranteed it on Thursday when he was on the show. He will get all three.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
It depends. How good the starter is. All right, there he is coming up at 2:00.
What'd you call me, by the way, that almost made me spit out my coffee?
A lout? I don't even remember.
What does that
You
even
suck.
What does that mean? What is a lout, Ray?
It's an old school. By the way, real fast, you told me that. So did you hear the story about Dutz?
I was just told this story by Vito.
Ray, it was bad.
Yeah,
dude.
so we had pretzels on Friday, Phillies Pretzel Factory pretzels, and I guess there were about a dozen left. And when Dutz left here at 2:30, he took 11 of the 12.
So I go out there during the break. I wanted to get a pretzel. I open the bag. There's only one left. And then I see Dutz with a container in his hand. And I go, whoa, whoa, whoa. How many are you taking? And he's like, leave me alone, all right? Leave me alone. And I go over 12 pretzels in the container. He leaves one for the office. He takes 12, and he wasn't done. They also dropped off hoagies. He took the container.
A lot of hoagies.
He took the container of, like, the cherry peppers.
No. The fact that you just said
Brandon
we're not gonna
Dutt's
get a
our digital
pretzel is
producer.
the most BS I've ever heard in my life. You don't touch anything out here but a kind bar, and you're telling me you're going to have to get a pretzel?
How many pretzels did you
Please.
take home? How many pretzels?
I took 7.
12. I counted them.
No. I took 7. There was 19 left in there. I took 7. There was 12 left. 3 people from sales came down and took 3 each. And then everybody's yelling at me, oh, it's my fault because of pretzels. And here you go. Bill's coming out here every 5 minutes during the break talking about his show. And he's like, oh, you took the pretzels down?
John, hand to God. There was one pretzel left
So
in the
hang on,
bag,
Vito-
and he had 12 of them.
Vito is
Doesn't
in
matter
here,
how many
and you
took.
bought
I
them.
bought the pretzels in the morning. It was John Kincaid's last day. Okay. I brought him in for an office treat. We know how things can get picked apart sometimes. The fact that he wanted to walk out here with 7 pretzels.
He took 12.
7.
I took 7. You bastard.
That's a lot.
At 2:30.
Ricky Bo,
Can you
what do you...
stay in your corner and go back to doing your show prep, please?
No,
Who
no,
invited you?
Ricky Bo's in here, too.
Here, Ricky, you slide in. Tag
more
in.
than one pretzel.
Tag in, Ricky.
No, you can do 2.
When they sit here at 9 o'clock and nobody eats them, you're more than welcome to take
Okay.
Wait a minute. Whoa. So
Then you
9
weren't even
o'clock.
here.
No,
So
no,
the
no.
midday show doesn't count, and then the afternoon. I don't.
So
What do you mean you don't count?
I'll give you my opinion, and you're my guy. 2:30 is not the cutoff for taking for whatever you want.
6 o'clock.
4,
I would say 5.
4:30.
I would say 5.
6
5.
o'clock.
When
they're sitting out there since 9 in the morning?
Yes.
I don't know, Ray. They're not going to be able to hear you. But what do you have to say?
They can't hear me, but to his defense on this one, 2:30 is a little early, but it's a Friday in this office. Let's all be real about
We have
that.
like 2 people
tough
here.
crap.
Nobody's
What?
here.
Oh,
You
so
weren't
the,
here.
unfiltered doesn't matter.
But
That's
hang
what
on,
happened.
if he left, if he left 12
Unfiltered doesn't
pretzels,
matter, yet you guys are the only one that gets food drops, and you weren't even here on Friday.
12.
You're the only one that
hang
gets
on.
food drops.
If he
I can
left,
still argue this.
but if he left 12, he felt like he was leaving enough to where everybody can
There
still
was
get
not
their
12.
pretzels.
There was left in there, correct.
Bill let me know immediately over our FaceTime that there was one pretzel. He said he was going out there. He saw a bunch of them out there, so he was going to go out there grab one. And there was one left.
Bill doesn't touch carbs.
This was
didn't
on
eat a pretzel.
Friday.
Yes, there was one left when he came out. When I left them there,
So why did you take 7?
Because I took them for my family because they enjoy them.
Oh, so
I didn't take it for just
so when
myself.
we get a food drop,
What do you think? I took
so
7
when we get a
pretzels for
food
myself?
drop, it's not just for us. It's
What?
for family members.
I've-
So next time food comes in here, I'm going to, like Nifty 50s, I'm going to take 4 trays before anybody else does.
But hang on, Ray. I've taken Nifty 50s. I've taken the shakes home for my kids. I took 2 shakes home for my kids. There was a lot of them that weren't being used, but I'll take stuff home for my
But you're
family.
on-air personality.
All right, if Dutz would have known that there wouldn't be enough pretzels,
You
then
want me to
I'd
argue
be
that
mad
now?
at him. No, like Dutz thought that there were going to be enough pretzels for everybody else.
There was one.
Well,
after the salespeople took them. And again, Bill
Wait a
trying,
minute. Whoa,
Bill
whoa,
trying
whoa.
to say in this argument
wait,
that
wait.
he was coming out here to take a pretzel is complete and utter BS. You and I both
Yeah, he
know
wouldn't eat
he
a
touches
pretzel.
nothing
He
else
told
but
me
a
he
kind
was
bar.
on Friday. He told me he was.
Liar. He's just saying that because he's trying to defend himself.
And by the way,
argument.
that just blew your theory out of the water that nobody's here on Friday.
The salespeople were here.
Well, he said that he left 7, and the salespeople came and took them all. I'm doubtful.
If
this
Dutsy,
is a bunch of crap.
If Dutsy, thank you, Ricky Batavia. If Dutsy says that there were 7 pretzels left,
there was 12 left. I took
12.
7.
There were
Correct.
12
7
left.
is too many. Let's
Okay.
start there.
All
All
right.
right. I love you, Dutsy. 7's too many. It doesn't
That's
matter
fine.
how you
But
slice it.
I will
4?
just say this.
Still feels like much.
3?
You might get 3.
All right.
The fact that Bill
salespeople
comes
almost
out
feel
here
like out of line,
and says,
too,
I
for
will say
taking
it
3
once
apiece.
again, that he came out here to eat a pretzel himself. It's just to defend himself in this argument.
All right, there he
That's
is.
complete
Brandon Dutz,
BS.
our digital producer. Thank you very much, Dutsy. I knew he was going to say it at the end there. That's why I wanted you to combine the breaks. I knew we wouldn't get into it. So I agree with you. 7's excessive. If it's 6 o'clock at night and everybody's leaving and there's 19 pretzels left, you can pretty much take whatever you want.
Right.
Otherwise, they're getting thrown out.
Correct.
2:30, 7 pretzels, excessive.
Yeah, but you could take multiple at 2:30 because at that point, Unfiltered's been in. They've had their choice of whether or not
They've had
they
a
want
chance
pretzels.
to get the pretzels.
They've had their right to the pretzel, especially they've been sitting there since 9. You have the opportunity. You didn't take advantage of it. Now, again, I'll say it. If it's like 3 o'clock on a Friday, I'm assuming most of this office is cleared out. It's just my assumption. I could see the path in which you end up taking multiple at that point. Again, 7 too many. Is there a world in which maybe if it was a Friday afternoon, like this Friday I'll be on Unfiltered, if there was food there at like 4 o'clock, I might start hoarding? Yeah.
A 6-pack of pretzels, not a 6-pack of picks, as Jody used to give back in the day. There you go. All right, well, listen. This is like, it's interesting. I might have felt a certain way if there was 1 pretzel left. And he's right. Bill didn't want the pretzel, but Bill's a lawyer. He didn't care if he wants the pretzel or not. He says, hey, you left us 1 pretzel.
Yeah.
That ain't right.
Who was producing Bill on Friday? Was Earnshaw in?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who would be in. Who's he inconveniencing? Because it's not inconveniencing Bill. Like, let's be honest.
But there's a good chance that somebody that wanted a pretzel didn't get a shot at a pretzel.
Well, they had a shot at the pretzel. They just didn't take advantage of it.
Up until 3 o'clock or whatever time it all happened.
We all have to realize this place is a bunch of hungry savages. When an email goes out, there's food in the kitchen.
Free
if you
food.
don't go at that break, you realize what you're running.
We had Eric Fink brought hoagies as well.
Oh.
And he brought a couple of trays that Fink took care of us.
Oh, man.
And they were good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was upset I was missing that.
He had a couple of them apparently too that I forgot about.
Dutsy had a couple of them and 7 pretzels?
Yeah.
You're losing me, Dutsy. I love you. You're losing me,
With the
man.
pretzels? No, he was grocery shopping for the weekend.
If there were a couple of trays of hoagies, I would almost defend you taking 3 of the little hoagies.
There
on the
was
way
more
out.
hoagies that were going to be eaten. So taking the hoagies where I could go for 1 right now. For sure. I have 2 sandwiches that I made that I didn't eat yet.
I just had the fig bar from there.
Yeah, you eat it like a squirrel like Calarulo does.
Well, the problem is I ate like a king over the weekend because we got family in, so
I bet you
everyone's
did.
bringing food. We're making food. There's a million desserts. So now I'm going through withdrawal because I ate like a king all week and now I'm back to my usual diet and nothing.
All right. Well, so far we have Brooks Raley, a left-handed reliever from the veteran left-handed reliever from the Mets, and prospects given up for him. His ERA is under 2 this year, so that feels like an immediate upgrade over what was over there. If you think about it, Alvarado was really the only other lefty that you would even want to put out there, and I don't even want to put him out there. Although Backus looked good over the weekend, or was that yesterday?
It was yesterday. He came in after Wheeler.
He came in after Wheeler yesterday, so he did look good yesterday, but still, he may be going back down after this. Now you have Bolin. They acquired Caleb Killian in the same deal that got you Arraez. So Killian is a veteran reliever, probably a 7th-inning guy is when you really want him going. He does have some closing experience. You don't want him as a closer. So they're going to team him up with Bolin and Kirkring. So they're probably are they finished in the bullpen, Ray?
You would think.
Maybe.
Killian feels like he's from the Bolden mold of like, here's a guy that you look at his career numbers. They don't suggest what he is stuff-wise, and we're going to try and harness him to something better.
Let's hope he goes on a hot streak here.
Yeah.
Yep.
This feels like it's it for the bullpen. Feels like unless they don't get the starting arm and they're like, we're just going to throw another
They'll get a
dart.
starter. They'll get a starter for sure.
I think. I hope.
They were in on Scooble. If that's true.
Sure.
If Jason Stark said they were in on Scooble, which I was defiant that they had any interest, and they wanted him, they could have gotten him. They were willing to offer Crawford. I don't know if that tells you more about Crawford or anything.
More about Crawford. Crawford's going to end up in the role that last year we all talked about you don't want him to end up in if he comes up.
Not getting regular at bats.
Yep.
He hasn't earned them.
Well, it's
sorry, kid. Right? Sorry.
I don't know who before the season could have foreseen this happening.
I don't know who's the odd man out if they acquire another outfield bat. Because Harper could be your outfield bat. Trey Turner could. They're talking about moving Stott to the outfield, which is insane to me.
It's not.
All right.
None of these solutions feel good to you, really, when it comes down to it. Arraez, again, in a vacuum, good player, but the way they're going to go about remaking this roster just tells you more about this roster than it does Arraez himself.
All right. When we get back 5 hours to the trade deadline, Ricky and Bill are going to keep you updated all afternoon. Ray's going to compile a report coming up of the big moves that were made across Major League Baseball, the Phillies moves, and then we'll look at the rumors as well, because the Phillies are obviously connected with a lot of players, including a pretty nice starting pitcher out there. So that is all coming up right after this. This is Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Fair move so far. I'm Ray, done with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's MLB trade deadline day. The Phillies so far a pair of moves. They acquired 2 players from the San Francisco Giants, Luis Arraez and Caleb Killian. Arraez, a second baseman, figures to play second base with the Phillies, which means they have to figure out how they're going to reconfigure their infield. Killian is a relief pitcher that's over 40 RA so far this season. He'll join this bullpen as they try and reshape it following the deadline. They trade right-hander Ramon Marquez and right-hander Marty Guerra from their farm system to San Francisco. Phillies also acquired left-handed reliever Brooks Raley from the Mets. They traded right-hander Luke Gabrish and outfielder John Spikerman up to New York. The big move of the deadline continues to be the Dodgers dealing for Tarek Skubal on Saturday night. They sent back 3 prospects to Detroit. Dodgers currently sit at 69 and 43 on the season. Eagles training camp continues today. They are 12 days away from their first preseason game. Union big comeback win over Atlanta 3-2 on Saturday night. They continue to win coming out of the World Cup break. This update is brought to you by Dell Technologies. Back to school starts now. Get the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core from $699. Find yours at Dell.com/deals. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union 97.5.
Can't wait to talk about that. Sean returns tomorrow. Did all this break? It happened. You were here last week when it happened, right?
Yeah.
Was Sean here? Was it last weekend? Was it 2 weekends ago?
Yeah, I think it was last Friday. So he got a chance to react to it early last week.
Because it seemed like this weekend he's gonna get whacked. You agree?
Certainly seems that way. Once they move one of the more likable guys up to your booth, and then they don't have a timetable for your return, it does kind of seem like it's happening.
What's the timetable they're waiting for?
Right.
Yeah, suspend him indefinitely. They suspend him indefinitely? Is that what it was? Yeah, like, are you demanding he goes to rehab or something? Or, like, if he was doing that, then you wouldn't. I mean, you could say it's one thing to say suspended indefinitely. It's another, and then say, and J.J. Watt is being moved up to be with Jim Nantz.
Right.
That's what made it feel like that they're going to whack him.
Yeah, I kind of felt like it was going to be like, yeah, I'll be back week 3.
Not the first guy to get a DUI. So it tells you that somebody at CBS, if this happens, it's like, here's our chance.
Yeah.
To get out. He's awful.
It's not the first time that a for-cause firing happened for cause, but they were looking for a reason to fire the guy.
And Tony gave him one.
Yeah. That's one thing you don't do. You don't give people a reason to fire you for a cause. If they're going to fire you, you make them fire you the old-fashioned way.
No, you work hard to get better, which he could. I don't think he was going to do.
Or if you weren't going to work hard, you just don't hand him a reason to kick you out of the building.
Yep. Well, he did.
Yeah.
So you agree he's gone?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I was worried about that at the start. When it happened, I was like, this kind of seems like a great way to get out of a 10-year expensive contract that you don't feel like really putting you in a good position.
Yep.
And then it seemed, we're suspending him indefinitely. And then when they start building the schedule without you.
Yeah, like how long are you suspending him for?
How many people are tuning into NFL on CBS like, man, I can't watch this anymore. There's no Tony Romo on my broadcast.
Well, I mean, honestly, I mean, to your point, I'm not turning off a game because of Romo. I might yell at Romo, and we'll play his sound the next day.
Yeah.
As we have it. He does make the games really annoying, but he does give you stuff we can play.
Yeah.
The next day.
Yeah.
I'd probably rather not have him than have the stuff.
Right. I would agree with that.
He's awful.
At this point, he is more than wore out his welcome.
Oh, my God. And then we'll probably never hear from him again, right?
No, we're going to hear from him again.
Think?
Yeah.
Doing what?
I don't know.
Playing golf?
Now we got how many different entities with NFL rights?
That's true.
You know, he's going to be the classic, I can fix him.
Yeah, does he want to do that, though? See, I think he leaves with his tail between his legs. He's got enough money.
I don't know.
All right.
A lot of attention paid to the guy. He seemingly enjoys it.
Does he?
I think.
I don't know, man. He's not now that you look at it, he's really not a natural from any. He doesn't do radio interviews or TV interviews or anything like that. He's not going on with Cowherd even once or twice a year and doing. Is he capable of actually talking about like the NFL as a whole if you brought him on?
But I think he thinks he's got the personality, and he still has an agent.
But isn't he? You can tell that he's lazy and he doesn't follow it like he should.
Right, because he thinks he's got the personality.
I guess.
Tony Romo got drunk on Tony Romo. But I guess no. Yeah.
No, I think literally he's been drunk on Tony Romo, too.
Yeah, I think that he's kind of. I didn't even mean that on that, but like he's got himself feeling like he could do a whole lot of different things.
Does he?
I think so. He was told how great he was for a long time. He probably stopped listening when people started telling him that he wasn't good.
The shocking thing is that he was hammered after playing golf on a Sunday. Was it a Sunday? Or whenever it was? No, it was whenever it was.
I feel like it was a Thursday?
We
found out on Friday.
At 6 o'clock. Least surprising thing. Like, Tony Romo was playing golf and he was really hammered.
Yeah.
Bad.
The more shocking thing is the excuse.
How hammered he was.
Yeah, that too.
Open bottles.
10 different offenses.
Yeah. Yeah, very
Wisconsin,
strange.
man. Let's figure it out.
All right, Ray, we're officially less than 5 hours to the trade deadline. The Phillies have already made big moves to bolster their club. What would you say the reaction is of the fans? Tepid?
Tepid.
Yeah?
For sure. I think maybe we should have not broken down how this goes defensively. I also think this is a big, where's the right-handed bat? Like, there's a lot of people on the text line with I
don't think you're getting it.
Doesn't seem like it. Adele's gone. Ward's gone.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, if they get it, great. But this was the move. Arraez was it's a big move. It is. Let's not downplay. So give us the latest here, Ray. Have you compiled a trade deadline list so far of what they have? Phillies acquired Arraez and Caleb Killian from the Giants for their number 4 prospect, Ramon Marquez, which is a big move. This dude, he really, like, if you look at his minor league stats prior to this year, I don't think he was rated as a prospect. Had great stuff, but this year has done really, really well. You look at some of his outings, he's getting double-digit strikeouts in 5 or 6 innings. He throws changeup. I was watching some highlights from him. He throws changeups to, he's a right-handed pitcher. He throws changeups to righties as good as he does to lefties. Really, really good deception. Really, really good late break on it. He's got an electric fastball. He's got really, really good stuff. And I've seen a lot of guys in single A with really, really good stuff. So it's a good risk for San Francisco. They're getting a guy with really, really high upside.
Yeah.
So,
the prospect huggers are upset today with that one.
I am a prospect hugger, but I also have to be able to look at the big picture. And if it was not getting him or getting him, I have to try to get him. You're $300 million committed. I'm not going to be worried about your number 4 prospect at single A.
Yeah. Marquez could be
And
Andrew Painter. He could be Spencer Howard. He could be any one
I
of
don't
those
think
guys.
he is. I think he's going to be good. This one hurts, but I understand the organization. I don't know the other player they would have had to give up on. They weren't going to trade Andrew Painter for a rental, just out of not even arrogance, but they weren't going to do it.
The same arrogance that'll keep their shortstop at shortstop.
Pretty much. All right, from there, Ray, they acquired Brooks Raley from the Mets for a couple of prospects. Nothing. I know Spikerman is looked at as a guy that has like some ceiling to him, but really hasn't done a whole hell of a lot in the minors.
Yeah, you feel for Luke Gabrish, St. Joe's guy, Phillies fan. Like now he's going to the Mets.
Yeah,
kind of feels like the dream scenario turned. I don't want to call it a nightmare. You're still playing in professional baseball, and at some point you got to give up your fandom. But you get drafted by the hometown team. The whole feel-good story. He was in the section where Harper hit the bedlam at the bank back in 2022. Local guy that went to a local school, and you get traded to the Mets of all places. That sucks.
All right, so I'm looking at the trade grades on ESPN.com. Do you go to the trade grades? You like to look at what they say?
Oh, yeah.
All right, what's your grade on the Arraez trade?
B.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm in. I mean, this is the most lukewarm you could see, I feel, about a trade.
But all right, it's because of the defense stuff. This dude's their best hitter now. He led the league in batting 3 times. He's hitting .324 this year.
Absolutely.
He struck out 21 times this year in 400 and some odd at bats.
I might pay to watch Alec Boehm pick balls at first base, Bryson Stott move to third base, and Bryce Harper try to do something he hasn't done since I was in college.
Really? It's been that long?
It's been that long. Johnny Marks, the last time he was playing the outfield, they were handing me a diploma.
All right, well, ESPN.com gives it a B+.
All right, well, they're in too.
Arraez is baseball's best hitter for average, a contact line drive machine who that we know is staying in the National League, is positioned for a 4th career batting title. He's exactly what he's always been, with the possible added bonus of providing above-average defense at second base. So he's good defensively. He will provide a completely different look for the Phillies atop of the lineup, though old-school types might prefer him batting second behind the speedier Trey Turner. They can't keep Trey Turner at the top of the lineup. Either way, Arraez balances the lineup for a team that has struggled in the average and on-base percentage departments, has been too reliant on homers to score. And then his presence bumps Bryson Stott over the third, Alec Boehm to the bench, or at least to the short side of a third base platoon. That doesn't seem like it's going to be the case right now. So it looks like that they're going to put Boehm possibly at first base. Would you platoon Boehm?
The issue is I'm going to run into now who's the right fielder. Offensively, somehow it can get worse from the Boehm Stott everyday situation.
Hasn't Boehm been pretty good the second half of the season, though?
Yeah, they both picked it up from slow starts.
I don't know if July they were good, but he was on a tear for a while there. He's hitting some power. I would rather keep. I mean, the easiest fix here is to put Trey Turner in the outfield.
Yeah.
You move Stott over. Boehm's not affected. Harper's not effective. You get the worst defensive shortstop in baseball, most errors in baseball of any player, in left field. But all indications are they're not doing that.
Correct.
Which sucks. All right, a B+, and the Giants get an A. Uh-oh. That's not good. So the one pitcher of what's his first name? Gate. So it's like he's not. I don't think he's a rated prospect, but he's got some upside. And then as we mentioned, Marquez is the real deal. All right, the Mets, they give him a B-, and they give the Mets a C+. This is definitely they call it a standard trade deadline pairing. 2 fringy prospects for an experienced reliever on an expiring deal. Raley's 38 years old. 1.96 ERA this season. But when you look at some of the advanced metrics, it's not as good. Not a great walk to strikeout ratio. So they desperately needed a left-handed reliever.
Right, and they got one when they traded 2 guys that you hadn't heard of today, you won't hear of tomorrow.
Not likely. I hate trading with the Mets because they never seem to work out. Whenever we've traded for Mets in the past, I don't have to go back to the 80s or the 90s to pick a good one. Because you can go Roger McDowell, Lenny Dykstra. I'm not going all the way back then. Who was that infielder that I hated? Latino. He was just like, he had power but struck out a lot. We're going back to before they were making the playoffs.
Philly, what, 20? You want like a 2019 Phillies?
I guess. Maybe even before. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
All the patchwork they tried to do back then.
I don't even remember what year. I'm so out of sorts with them. But anyway, I don't know. I don't like trading with the Mets. Would I be surprised if this guy came in and his true ERA showed? No, I wouldn't. Comes in first appearance, he gives up a monster home run.
Yeah, feels right. And they pull Nola too early or too late, depending on what day it is.
All right, some other rumors for the Phillies is Robbie Ray, who's a veteran starter on the final year of a contract. At least Bob Nightingale put it out there that the Phillies are in. That could have been used as bait to get other teams in because the deal did not happen after Nightingale put it out there. You're going to have to give up a pretty penny to get Ray. It's an expiring contract. He's been good.
I've been telling people recently, you're going to have to give a pretty penny to get Ray. That's a big, big thing.
I don't know if the Phillies, to get their 4th starter, is going to give up if you're giving up this much for Arraez, don't you have to give up something similar for Ray?
Yeah, I'm kind of confused as to, because they've done this 2-team deals before where they do 2 deals with the same team on the same day. They did with the Twins. They did with the Angels back when they traded for Marsh. They gave up Ohapi, got Marsh, and then when they traded for Syndergaard, all they gave up was Moniak and an outfielder I haven't heard of since. And then last year when they went and got Duran, they got Abel, and they gave up Tait. And then when they went to get Bader, they gave up a 16-year-old and another guy I haven't heard of since. So maybe it's the goodwill. Is Heliot Ramos also included in that deal because you want to go get that right-handed? Like, I don't know where they come down on this. I don't know what else you're sending out of the farm system at this point. Like, if the Giants leave today with Marquez and another one of your top 5 prospects, the Giants got to feel great because it's like, yeah, we had a bunch of guys that were contributing to a team that stinks that are now part of the Phillies.
1-year deal. They gave up nothing but some money. Arraez doesn't make a lot of money.
Right.
I feel like that top 5 prospects are done. They're not trading another top 5 prospect. So you may get a 5th starter that's not all that, or a 4th starter that's not all that impressive. I'm not giving up a top guy to get Robbie Ray. He may not even pitch in a series.
He doesn't pitch. So help me.
But
tell me if they trade for a starter today who doesn't pitch at the postseason.
All right, so there's one move. I would be shocked if they don't get a starter today. All right? So do you agree on that, Ray? There's still a starter to be had. It just depends on how good of a starter.
Yeah, I think so.
And then that's it? Or maybe one more move, like a 555. Hey, this guy's out. The price just dropped a lot. We're going to grab him. Maybe an outfield, a fringy type.
Yeah.
A right-handed platoon.
Your Bader, Hayes. I'm not even throwing Castro in that list. But, you know, that right-handed bat that you want to add to. Looking at it right now, like here's the diamond configuration if you want to go with what they have right now, what they're telling you. Realmuto doing the catching, Bohm at first base, Arraez at second, Turner at short, Stott at third base, Marsh in left, some combination of Hill and Crawford in center, and then Harper in right field. Does that feel like the likely lineup for a likely defensive alignment for you? Sosa and Stubbs on your bench?
Rincon's gone. They'll send him back down.
De La Cruz, it seems like thanks for your 2 weeks. We appreciate it.
De La Cruz would be the next guy out because then if you acquire another outfielder, it's a numbers game. And I'm not telling you that like I'm not worried about it, but are you really getting rid of Derek Hill?
It seems like that's what they're going to say. Like, remember, we acquired Derek Hill.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many spots that can go in the 25. So, I mean, I don't know what else they could do.
Yeah, you end up with But
Stubbs gets designated.
Stubbs, I think,
no,
stays.
Marshawn's on the IL. Yeah, but like, what do you need Stubbs for? What do you need 3 catchers for?
Oh, I've been on this for a while.
No, I know Marshawn's on the IL, so they can't do it right now. But you don't need Stubbs at all. Give me a break. Get him out of here.
No, I don't know when Marshawn is expected to be back at this point. So you might.
I don't know either.
Yeah, you might end up with him. But all right, so what I just read to you out though is 12. You've been carrying 13. De La Cruz right now is your 13, unless you grab another one today.
Yeah, he's the last guy with a job.
Yep, Gunnis can go.
Yeah, he's gone. There's no. I mean, he's go back down to the minors. Maybe you see him again. Maybe you don't. He's got some pop in the bat. He's not ready to play. De La Cruz has looked good, but this has kind of been his like a lot of backup players. You come up and you're like, wow, he's really good, and then pitchers are like, all right, I'm not going to throw him a fastball.
Yeah, remember when we all want Sosa to be an everyday player, and then he became an everyday player?
Oh, it's like that for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, maybe done. Maybe you have one more move. I do believe starting pitcher will be one thing. You can almost lock that in until you don't, but that seems the most logical. And I think Dave's going to get one. All right, we have some voice memos on the Davis Honda text line. People reacting to the Phillies and what they're doing today. Here you go.
The delivery driver at Acton, New Jersey. Why'd the Phillies make these trades today? Who cares? It's still the Dodgers winning in 4 or 5 games. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they would, but like what you're banking on is that you don't play the Dodgers and they lose. I don't know. Like Dodgers get scuba. Is everybody just going to fold and quit? No, man. Not the way it works. Ray, on September 22nd, if this team is blistering hot, all right, now we're talking. I can't predict what's going to happen in 6 weeks from now.
No, you can't. That's why you had to cautiously add today. Even though Marquez is a little bit more than a cautious ad.
I mean, Arraez is not a cautious ad, bro. That's Bader. That's a reliever.
Honestly, I hope the addition of Arraez, for me, is the way everyone else felt last year about the addition of Bader. I was sitting here like, this is great. I love this. You got a guy that actually plays a good center field. He's a right-handed power bat. Like, he's tapped into something this year. This is going to be awesome. And I remember, no, come on.
And he was really good to start.
And he was really good. So what I'm hoping is that my feelings of like, meh, the fit here with the Arraez is really confusing me. I'm hoping that in 2 months it feels like everyone else felt with Bader. When Bader went down in the NLDS, it's like, how could you lose this guy? I'm hoping that that's the way I feel about Arraez by the end of it.
Nobody else has anything on this defensive configuration.
No, it seems like this is what it's going to be. Bohm at first, Arraez at second, Turner at short, and Stott at third.
Yeah, but why? Like, I want somebody to explain why Trey Turner's the only guy that keeps his job, doesn't have to move. Your worst defensive player, yeah, let's keep him at short. The most important defensive position on the diamond.
I can't wait for Dave to explain that to you. I really can't.
Yeah, it's going to – will he speak today? Did he speak last trade deadline?
I would think
before the game?
It would make sense for it to be today. Maybe tomorrow because they wait until it's all said and done just in case there's a move to be. Because I don't think they want to waste his time at 4 o'clock with the beats if he could be on the phone trying to get someone else.
No, not at 4, but you have a 6:40, so he could literally in the clubhouse or in the dugout talk at 6 o'clock.
The Phillies might have Tim Kelly taken out in handcuffs by the end of that presser. Because he's going to be the one to ask about shortstop. He got Dave angry like 2
Oh, yeah, Tim has no
pressers ago when he was talking about shortstop. Like, well, it wasn't necessarily the Gelb.
What's the reasoning behind that?
But pretty much, why do you believe that an aging shortstop's going to get better at his position? And I remember,
and Tim asked Dave to give his resume why Phillies should believe that the Phillies fans should believe that he's the right guy to do stuff.
They might have the Fanatic hit him over the head and drag him into a closet down there somewhere.
They might. That'd make for good content.
What?
As long as if he could tweet from the closet.
Oh, I've got a new uniform I saw inside the closet here at UWatch.
All right, do we have more voice memos on the Davis Honda text line? Go.
What's up, guys? Brendan from Manayunk here. I think the Arraez move is solid. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'm more than okay with blowing up this infield. You haven't been able to turn a double play in over 4 years now at this point, so putting Arraez wherever you want, I'm okay with it. The big thing is the Trey Turner problem. If you really wanted just to figure this whole thing out, I think you put Arraez at first, tell him to suck it up and move Bryce to the outfield, but then you still have the Turner situation at shortstop. The whole thing is you're right, they keep jumping through hoops for this guy, and you just kind of have to just make the change. I'm still waiting for this Jaylen Brown type trade for the Phillies. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think they go out and they get a fifth starter, and Dave calls it a day and say, we have a good club, and go ahead and go get them, fellas. All right? I don't love it, but hopefully they prove us wrong by 6 o'clock today.
I think we have a good club.
I'm much more excited about the rise than a lot of people, but it's also it's volatility on both sides. Then I think about Trey Turner, and it's almost insane that they would keep him at shortstop. Seriously, outside of either the Phillies not wanting to move him because it would put egg on their face, which I don't know if I believe, or it's Trey Turner saying, "Don't move me off the shortstop." That would be the only two explanations, because there's nobody that actually believes that Trey Turner should remain in shortstop. Is there? The Phillies don't actually think that's the right move. Do they?
I mean, they might think it's best for keeping him in the headspace he's in right now, where he's hitting the baseball. And it's not a sexy answer, but it's an answer I could see being the real one.
It's interesting.
I'm reading Gelb from earlier because he was the one that put out, here's the 3 different ways they could go. There were strong indications Monday the Phillies were leaning towards stopping the everyday third baseman. Plan was not as clear. They could do less rearranging by keeping Harper at first, moving Stott to third, and looking to trade Bohm before the 6 o'clock deadline. They also could ask Arraez to move to first base, keeping Stott and Bohm at their spots, bumping Harper to right field. That's less likely, and so is another scenario that Bohm and Harper keep their jobs as infield corners and Stott goes to the outfield. I mean, it seems like this is the plan. Are we really entering they're shopping Alec Bohm waters again?
They could be for sure. They should have traded him. They needed as much as Rob Thompson was like, no, this is not the same team. We're not running it back. They pretty much were running it back.
Right. Ranger Suarez isn't there anymore.
No.
By the way, Ranger Suarez and his Red Sox. Nice weekend against the Dodgers.
What if they won like 23 or 26 or something like that?
It's insane.
They swept the Dodgers.
Yep.
Over the weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, there's two moves that you could have made in the offseason that would have changed the dynamic of the team. Actually, 3 with letting JT move on. But it was moving on from Bohm or moving on from Stott. And I think most people were into moving on from Bohm, even though I'd say they've both been disappointing as former first-round draft picks. But Bohm, to me, felt like that there was frustration with the clubhouse dynamics and him maybe and his maturity. I mean, he hasn't been great this year. He picked it up in the second half, but he hasn't been great. He showed a little bit more power than even I was expecting. So I didn't have a lot of high expectations. 610-632-0975. Your voice memos, your phone calls, and your text messages. It's the same number to the Davis Honda text line or the phone line. 610-632-0975. So far, lefty reliever, check. Righty reliever, check. Your best hitter, Arraez, the best bat on the market, check. What is next, and how do you feel so far? Also, how does this trade deadline compare to Dave's past deadlines with the Phillies? We'll evaluate that coming up next. Middays of Marks, 97.5.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Waiting for more. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. Will there be more in store for the Philadelphia Phillies? We shall see. They've been rumored to be linked to starting pitcher Robbie Ray of the San Francisco Giants. Just so happens they've already done a deal today with the San Francisco Giants. Second baseman Luis Arraez and relief pitcher Caleb Killian going to the Phillies in exchange for prospects Ramon Marquez and Marty Gare. Arraez looking like he's going to play second base with the Phillies. That would mean they have to reconfigure their infield. We'll keep you updated on whatever they decide to do there. They also acquired left-handed reliever Brooks Raley from the Mets in exchange, sending Luke Gabrish and John Spikerman up to New York. We'll let you know anything more that comes down before 6 o'clock tonight. The Major League Baseball trade deadline coming your way. Eagles training camp continued today, 12 days away from their first preseason game down in Baltimore against the Ravens. And over the weekend, the Union came back to win 3-2 over Atlanta as they continue their winning ways coming out of the World Cup break. This update's brought to you by Wawa. Sweet cravings, midday rewards, late night treats. Wawa is your all-day treat destination for ice cream parfaits, floats, and cream smoothies. Gotta have a Wawa. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
He was just in here. Petrilli managed to make his way in here. What is up? Coming up, Ricky and Bill. I am ready. I'm ready for another sizzle at the trade deadline. Not a huge move. I'm looking for something. I don't know. No trade or two.
Can I be desperate here? Can I put out a plea here?
Yeah.
At this point, as much as it feels unrealistic. At this point, all right, you gave away Marquez. It feels like we're starting to do the whole, we've reached the point where it's not just dipping the toe of the water at the deadline. Can we just go all the way in here and go get me like an Arraez?
Doesn't seem likely.
Doesn't seem likely. But please, at this point, if you're going to go get Arraez, we're making all these reconfigurations. It's like the desperation sinking in for me of what it's going to be to watch Bone play first base every night for this team. You might as well just go all the way in here and go throw caution to the wind and go get me a Arraez.
I mean, it helps you with what you're looking for in right field. Right-handed bat. Plays the outfield.
Like, I don't know how likely it is.
It's
we
not
can make all these demands of what we need and what we absolutely need to have right here. But if I'm going to be greedy here, and I'm going to be for a second, go just make the splash with the right-handed bat.
Trade Alec Boom.
Well, yeah, that too.
For Arraez.
You can't do that.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, unless you're trading one of these guys, or like, are you putting Bohm on the bench? Listen, I'm fine with that. I'm not telling you that if Bohm was a part-time player, I'm not kicking and screaming at all.
No, if we're going with this whole configuration, you got Harper and right. In my world where I get Arraez, he plays left. Marsh goes to center. And guess what? Justin Crawford, you get to watch what it's like to be a big leaguer every day. Derek Hill, I'll appreciate you. We'll do some defensive replacements late. Look forward to having you there. You'll play right field when Harper goes in to play first base. And we take Bohm's ass out of the game in the 6th inning. Like, that's where I'm at this point.
Unlikely to happen.
I know. But if I'm going to go down swinging here in the 1 o'clock hour at trade deadline day, go do something ridiculous at this point.
I wonder if they were in on him. Price tag might have been too high. I mean, it's not like that they didn't give up a top prospect to get Arraez.
Arraez, yeah.
I don't know, man. This team, I'll tell you, it's been painful this year. It's been painful. You think about it. They start off 9-19. They go on that run. That was really because the starting pitching got good again. They had injuries. Wheeler came back. Luzardo became effective. This lineup has sucked all year long. So the surge that they had was when you were going up against teams that were not good, sub-500 teams. And that's when you built your record back up. Now you're playing good teams again. You're kind of back to what you were before, which is like, They're a playoff team.
Right.
They're a good club.
Yeah, they have a good club. And they're not the best
club. We have a good club.
That's where I'm closer to. This is
We have a good club.
I'm not here.
We have a good club.
You're depressed. We have a good club. I kind of am too.
Yeah. I'm not we just fired our manager. I have to convince all of you that I believe this club.
I think we have a good club.
A week of Arraez, he could get this offense going. I'm telling you, if there's one player out there that could turn around the offense for a short period of time, it's him. He changes the fabric of your top 4. Now, where does he bat? It should be 1 or 2.
And maybe that's
where it's got to be.
More the issue that I'm having with all this is I don't know if I necessarily trust them to do what I want this to look like.
All right, so where's he batting, first or second?
First.
Do you believe that's the case, or that's where he should bat?
That's where he should bat. I don't know if that's the case.
All right, who's second?
Schwarber.
Harper third. Trey Turner 4.
Yeah.
Is that what's going to happen?
No.
Seriously, they're not going to move Turner?
I mean, they'll move him down. I think Arraez will bat leadoff.
So Turner 1, Arraez 2, Harper 3, Schwarber 4.
Right.
And the way Schwarber's playing right now, I might be okay with that. You could swap Turner and Schwarber. If Schwarber starts to get hot, you want to put him up there? I don't know.
Even with Schwarber hitting like this right now, he's still getting on base.
But you agree Arraez is 1 or 2, and Harper's 3.
Yeah.
Okay, who's batting 5th? Because Marsh, I mean, do you want to go Harper, Schwarber, Marsh?
No.
I don't want to do that.
Probably going Bohm there.
Probably Bohm.
Yeah.
And then Marsh 6, Stott 7.
Realmuto maybe.
Realmuto 8.
And then whoever's playing center field.
Crawford, whoever. Hill against lefty starters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a good club.
Love it.
Fine line.
But Arraez is a real upgrade.
It's baseball season, boys.
All right, Ray, you were talking about, I don't know if you have this in front of you, but you were talking about Dave Dombrowski and what he's done at the trade deadline so far in his career. Now, he's had some wins, Bader. He's had some losses, Austin Hayes, and he's had some decent, right?
Right.
Duran was an excellent trade because that helped you for years to come. It wasn't a rental. But how does this rank with the rest of his trades at the trade deadline?
I would say this is, I mean, it's not 2025. 2025 was probably the best that he did.
He got Duran and Bader.
Yeah. 2023 was by far the worst that he did. The way the Lorenzen trades aged with Hao-Yu Lee, I don't know if you've caught a lot of Tigers baseball. He's actually got a little pop playing second base there, but also like Lorenzen, you didn't use him in the postseason. So I enjoyed being able to say I was there for the no-hitter, but
yeah, it's kind of a wash.
Rodolfo Castro was a nothing burger.
And Bailey Falter's actually been pretty good.
You knew you needed a right-handed bat.
That was a bad trade.
Yeah, bad deadline for him, 23.
Oh, totally.
24, I think I've been more understanding of his 24 deadline than most. Like the Hayes thing, I think Hayes getting hurt.
He got a kidney infection or something.
Yeah,
it was
that
weird.
It was a kidney infection.
It was weird.
Like that kind of killed you. You also gave up nothing for him. Like Sir Anthony Dominguez at that point
Pache's
was not
not
figuring
a
it
major
out.
leaguer,
Yeah.
Soto, trading Soto, I was fine with.
Right.
Tanner Banks was a really good trade. And Estevez, I think it was a good trade.
Yeah, it was a fine trade.
Clausen and the other guy really haven't done anything, the minor leaguers.
Yeah. 22, when you get Sosa, Robertson, Marsh. Like, this is probably, to me, third on the list behind 25 and 22. Right now, rivaling 24. Just how I feel in the moment.
Syndergaard pitched in the playoffs.
Yep.
But he wasn't very good. Moniak isn't with the Angels anymore, so it's not like you can be like, oh, the Angels fleeced you.
Yeah, he's crushing it at Coors Field.
Robertson was not a good trade. Ben Brown's turned in. I think he's still hurt, but he's got real stuff.
Yeah.
That was a good trade by the Cubs.
They were still looking for a starter right now.
No, I know, but Robertson didn't give you anything. Did he? Was he okay?
He was fine down the stretch for you. In the
yeah,
postseason, he gave you a couple of shaky outings. I can't tell you that it was like an overwhelming success.
He improved the club, though.
Yeah, you weren't getting anything out of Brown. Robertson was supposed to give you depth in the bullpen. You still end up closing Zach Eflin in games. That's probably a loss in that deal.
Yeah.
But Sosa ended up being something that someone you used for multiple years. Ended up being a serviceable utility guy for JoJo Romero that year.
And JoJo Romero's still with the Cardinals, still pitching. So that's kind of a good trade for both teams.
Right. Marsh, I think, is the biggest revisionist history.
Well, Hoppy got traded too. Did you see that?
I did.
Yeah, so he already got traded. He had a really, really fast start to his career. Logan O'Hoppe was a well thought of catching prospect. That's who you traded for Marsh. They just traded him.
Yeah, because he can't field his position, and he stopped hitting.
And he stopped hitting, right.
Yeah.
Bad defense and not a great hitter. Yep.
If I had to grade him out, 25 last year with Duran Bader.
Good trade deadline.
Yeah. By far tier 1. 2022 ends up in a different tier of tier 2.
Yeah.
You needed Marsh. Your outfield, believe it or not, your outfield didn't have enough. You didn't have a center fielder.
23 not good.
23 not good. 24. If this fits in above 22, that's great. Right now it feels like it's somewhere in the 22-24 range.
I don't know, man. I think you're underselling the impact Arraez can have. He's a 300 hitter. He's hitting 324 this year. He hits 300 pretty much every year. Okay, but you're adding that to the lineup.
You are adding that to the lineup.
So he's an impact bat.
Right.
Do you feel that?
I feel the impact bat.
Okay.
It's the fit. That's the biggest thing for me. It's not just defensively. If they roll out a lineup where Schwarber's batting fourth and I have to watch Turner bat after Arraez, I'm going to be disappointed.
Yeah, but that's also about a fit, and it's more about Turner. Philly's got to get some balls here. Sorry. If they're letting Turner, if you're afraid to move around Turner because you're afraid that you're gonna lose him, that's a problem. That's a problem that you're gonna lose a guy because if Bryce Harper says I'm willing to move to right field if you can improve the infield, how the hell is Trey Turner not saying the same thing? Say what you want about Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper, I'm not telling you he has an A season. He's kind of like with Dave Dombrowski. He's been good, but is he
I guess
elite?
we only find out if he becomes elite or he continues to be good.
It's not been an elite season, but it was an all-star level season. Another home run. He's got 23 home runs now. He's going to have 30 home runs this year, right around there. That's fine. Bryce Harper's not the problem with this team offensively. The problem's Trey Turner and the rest of the guys.
Right-handed bats. Again.
Right. And Schwarber has not hit since the All-Star game. Mm-mm. You wonder how injured the back is. So it's if you keep jumping through hoops for Trey Turner, that's a problem.
Yep. Seems
like that's what they're doing. So I don't know, because then they'll say the speed at the top of the order with Trey Turner, he doesn't get on base. What's the point of having the speed? He can't steal bases if he doesn't get on base.
Watched him get picked off again yesterday. And also, when have they? Because they did this at the beginning of the year too. Of like, it's like you have two speedy guys ahead of Schwarber with Crawford at the bottom of the lineup and Turner. When are they ever running with Schwarber at the plate? Like, why would you run?
Not modern baseball.
Yeah, you have a chance for Schwarber to drive in someone. Instead, you're going to get him thrown out at second base. They never do it.
All right, 1 o'clock hour of the show brought to you by Morgenstern Hair Restorations. Great teams stick together. So does great hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration Championship results. Visit morgensternhair.com or call them 610-831-HAIR. 610-831-HAIR. Coming up next, YouTube chat recap. And I've got one thing on the Eagles and the genius that is Howie Roseman. Middays with Marks, 97.5.
Guts.
Fun Facebook stories, and then we'll talk about the Howie angle to it. I saw someone, the news feed on Facebook is unlike Instagram or Twitter. Those two, you'll get fake stuff, but very rarely will there be something up there that's not true. Would you agree with that?
Twitter.
I don't see a lot of fake stuff on Twitter. I see a lot of fake stuff on Facebook. A lot. You know why? It's an older audience, and you got a lot of boomers that don't realize that it's fake, and they repost it. And then everybody thinks it's real. So I saw some story that, and it had a quote from Gansey saying that Phylon, their first-round draft pick, had grown 3 inches since they drafted him, and he was now 6'6". It might have even been 3.5 inches since they drafted him. So I see the post, and I'm like, huh? And there's a quote from him. And it has it in the image. There's a quote from him. And I'm like, when did he talk? And it said, speaking to the media, Gansey said this. So immediately I Google it. Of course, there's nothing. So then I Google the actual quote that's in there, and it traces back to some jabroni on Twitter that just puts up fake stories. And that's the only other place that this came from. So it's obviously not true. A guy doesn't grow 3.5 inches in, a month or 2 months? I mean, I guess it's possible. But, so anyway, so I started putting in the comments, and a lot of people in their comments are like, there's no way this is real. So I'm like, it was in a fan group because I joined the Sixers fan group. I'm a part of all the fan groups. It's fun. But there's so many idiots out there. So it gets put up there, and now everybody's resharing it. And now, I had a friend that said, hey, did you hear Phylon grew 3.5 inches? I'm like, oh, my God. That's not real. So that's Facebook number one. I said, I put, delete this post. This is fake. Number two, this isn't a fake story. Oh, no, the Mike Trout thing. I went to take a leak at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I always check the feed, especially around, Scuba got traded at 11:30. I found out when I went to the bathroom. So I'm looking at stuff, and I see something about Trout being traded to the Phillies. Like, huh? Immediately I thought there's no way this is real. And again, it was on Facebook. So Trout to the Phillies, no way. So I go, and right away, it's like, okay, this isn't true. I Googled Mike Trout, and there was nothing about him being traded anywhere. So I'm like, another fake story. But this is real. So there's a guy on Twitter. I don't think he's a real reporter, but I think he tries to fancy himself as a reporter because he puts NFL by his name. And he puts out there, he puts the cap numbers for Jalen Carter. I really should pull this up so I could read the exact thing. All right, so it says Jalen Carter's cap hits on his new 4-year contract, $152 million extension. 2026, $9.1 million. 2027, $9.5. 2028, $15.5. 2029, $22.2. And then it goes on. There's a void year in 2032 of $68 million. And he says under that, he won't have a cap hit higher than $15.5 million until 2029. Howie Roseman's a madman. Wow, Howie, how does he do it?
Howie, get it done.
And I just simply put it I put Howie Roseman's a great GM. His resume speaks for itself, but let's keep it real. Any team could sign their players and structure the contracts like this. The Eagles are able to do this not because of Howie Roseman's such a genius, but because their owner, Jeffrey Lurie, is ready to shell out the money up front. Let's make sure we're showering Lurie with the praise he deserves. And then what I should have also added to it was you have to also draft well. You can't do it with free agents. You need to be able to draft well, and then you're signing them. So, Lane Johnson could have his contract restructured 4 times because you know he's going to play his entire career there. Jalen Carter's contract, they're not going to make it to 2029. They'll restructure it in 2028 if they know the player is going to be here. So I wasn't trying to slate Howie Roseman. As I said, he's a great GM. His resume speaks for himself. He's going to the Hall of Fame. They can't do this unless the owner is willing to shell out big money in signing bonuses. And that's my only point. So many people don't understand that. People are like, you know better than this. And I was getting the finger wagged at me. And it's like, no. Howie Roseman, if you don't draft like this, you can't do this. But you do draft like this. That's a big-time credit to Howie Roseman and the staff. Howie Roseman's not a madman because he structures contracts like this. Any GM could do it. Owners are cheap and don't want to shell out money that early. You know when they like to play players? Every Tuesday during a season. Because then they collect interest on their money and their investments. When you give $72 million signing bonus or whatever it is, you don't have money on interest. You may not think 5% interest is a lot for a billionaire. It is. $50 million at 5% interest, you do the math. That's a lot of money. And if you hold that, a signing bonus gives that right away. So let's also shower Jeffrey Lurie and say, dude, he could very easily not do this, but he does. And it allows the Eagles to do what they do and sign everybody.
Sounds like you're saying Howie Roseman's the system GM.
I am not saying that.
Dutsy, could we clip it with that?
Trades that he makes, he knows value. He's able to not pay guys when he shouldn't pay them. He's able to give up a third-round draft pick for Jalen Phillips. It's worth it because you needed help. Getting a first-round draft pick out of A.J. Brown was worth it. It was a good trade. He was smart to do it. I have absolutely no complaints with Howie, but he's not a madman. It's just, you know what it is? It's simple to call him a madman. It's not understanding that. Ray, I understand. I'm a football guy. So I understand that maybe some other, some non-football guys out there don't get it.
It's that second-level thinking you're doing.
Howie Roseman's a madman.
Yeah. He's a great GM.
He's a great
job.
He's a great GM.
Yeah, and part of what his job is, Lurie allows.
You could do these contracts.
Ooh, no, don't think so.
Well, with help from other people.
Yeah, I was going to say, I need someone in the room with me to go through the contract.
Howie's not the only one that knows how to structure contracts like this.
Yeah.
Remember when Derrick Henry signed with the Ravens? I think it was I got to look it up. It was nothing. The Cowboys were interested, but they said he was too expensive and they couldn't afford it. You can afford any player you want. You can structure a contract. You give him a 4-year contract. You kick the cap hits into years 3 and year 4, and cap space doesn't matter. You got to give money. He don't want to pay. Derrick Henry goes to the Ravens and has a 2,000-yard season. Cowboys could have had him. So just keep that in mind. Owners don't want to put money out like Jeffrey Lurie does.
You sound like a motivational speaker there.
I do.
You can have any contract you want. It sounded like you were about to give us you could be anything you want in this life. You just go out there and attack it.
Well, that's not true.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe that.
I want to play in Major League Baseball.
But there's one thing. Did you see Sirianni's speech? I forget exactly how he said it, but there's one thing, you can give effort.
Oh yeah,
and it's true.
Effort doesn't cost anything.
It doesn't cost anything. I say to any intern or any young producer that I say, I'm like, you know what you can control? How hard you work and outworking the other people, outworking the people that you work with.
Yeah,
that's how you separate yourself. Effort, right?
Doesn't cost a thing.
I'm a high motor guy, right?
That's the only way I got on the basketball court back in the day. Out energy, everyone.
You're that guy?
I'm that guy.
Comp yourself to an NBA player.
Is the McConnell one too easy?
Well, not as skilled McConnell.
Yeah, obviously.
McConnell's pretty skilled.
Yeah, but he doesn't shoot the 3 because he can't.
He can. TJ McConnell?
TJ McConnell.
His problem is that he's kind of like a Sosa. The more he plays, the more he's exposed.
He's a 34% three-point shooter through his career.
All right. Dean Wade's like 36%. Some people think he's a sniper.
He's averaging 0.7 three-pointers attempted per game in his career.
All right. You get half a point.
All right.
TJ McConnell. It's better than Mitch McConnell, that's for sure. Is he alive? I forget.
I believe he's alive.
The last I checked, people didn't think he was.
Well, yeah, people don't think he is, but we haven't been told anything otherwise yet.
Let's get to the YouTube chat recap quickly, please.
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in?
Let me tell you something else, man.
Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie.
Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube chat recap.
Yep.
Arraez hitting mentality up close and personal could rub off on the entire lineup. He despises strikeouts. Greg from the chat.
21 strikeouts this season. You look at his numbers, and he never strikes out. What did you say earlier in the show? It's like 105 strikeouts the last 4 years?
Yep, since the start of 2023, which would be fewer than Schwarber, Marsh, and Trey Turner this season.
It can have a big impact on the lineup. And this is short-term enough to where you could maybe carry it on to the playoffs. It doesn't fix everything from the lineup, but I'm telling you, a lot of people, if you're not excited about this trade, I don't think you're looking closely enough at what he brings to the lineup. All right, what's next?
Trey's errors have led to Wheeler, Sanchez, and Nola getting pulled from games, which lead to the bullpen imploding. Money Mar from the chat.
Money Mar, I don't even know if I'm going to implode. I'm going to explode if it's explained tomorrow that Trey Turner is keeping his job. I didn't want to go too crazy today because it hasn't been said. Maybe the Phillies are going to reconsider or come to their senses. But the one player that you can't justify keeping his infield position is Trey Turner. He's awful. And this gives them the perfect opportunity. Trey, listen, it's for the best of the team. We know you'll be good in left field. You're a great athlete. We'll talk in the offseason. and then you never give him the job back. But like, it makes too much sense to put him in left field. And it seems like he's the one guy that's going to keep his job. What's next?
I'm happy they got Arraez, an actual contact hitter, but they're still not even close to the Dodgers. Jim from the chat.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yep. There's nothing more I can say about that. Maybe you don't have to play the Dodgers. Maybe an injury happens to the Dodgers. Because on August 3rd, it feels like that you have no chance against the Dodgers. That doesn't mean on October 3rd, people are going to feel the same way. And I get it. Acquiring Skubal, the back-to-back champions getting the back-to-back Cy Young seems pretty unfair. All right, what's next?
Fanatic has better talent development than the Phillies. MBD from the chat.
Well, if you look at Ray, absolutely.
Oh, God, that's where we've set the bar.
Well, no, are you kidding me? Hey, man, listen, Jack Fritz was my intern here. He moved over with me. He's a star. Would he have developed without me? Of course he would have. But it's just like I would have developed without Mike. I'm on the Mike Missinelli tree.
I'm
right?
also on that.
Yeah, I know you are. That's what I'm saying. You're one of these guys that you were like Mariucci and Holmgren.
Yeah.
You got a combination of the West Coast guys.
I was an assistant to the assistant for years.
James Seltzer's on my intern tree. I have a lot of great. And Patty Egan, I'd still consider he had a good run.
He did have a good run.
He did have a good run.
I'm still consuming his content to this day.
Love Pat. All right, what's next?
Bohm, 14 double plays. Turner, 18 errors. Who has more the end of the season? Tommy from the chat.
What, if Turner stays at shortstop?
I'm going Bohm double plays.
I have no problem. Bohm's fine at third base. He's turned himself into an average third baseman, which I'm fine with.
No, I mean hitting in double plays, not errors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
he's going to hit
He's got more double plays than Turner will have errors.
He's like a giraffe out there. Any more?
Bill has never met a wrong point that he's made in his life. Dawood from the chat.
He's a lawyer, and I can tell when he doesn't believe something necessarily. He gives you kind of a bleep-eating grin when he's saying it. He's a lawyer.
Yeah, and him doing the answer my question. I was like, all right, this isn't the courtroom.
No, but he also does he tries to be like, oh, I'm not criticizing Bryce Harper, and then he goes and criticizes Bryce Harper.
Yeah, of course.
He's the king of that. Like, don't criticize me. I don't hate Harper, but
it comes from the tree of, well, you're not wrong, which is his favorite way of disagreeing with someone.
I like to say I don't disagree rather than I agree. Because that's not agreeing, it's saying I don't disagree. That's my Bill Colorillo line. You're not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Well, I'm not right.
Yeah.
Coming up next, if Love and Unfiltered's wrong, I don't want to be right, Ray. They're coming up next. Ricky and Bill, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Sean Brace is back. See you.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports.